Are you searching for a deeper understanding of your faith?
Inspiring Philosophy is your go-to resource for exploring the rich tapestry of Christian thought.
From biblical archaeology to philosophy of mind, we dive into the topics that matter.
Our content bridges faith and understanding, offering insights into God's existence and the reliability of the New Testament.
Join a community where faith meets reason and discover the answers you've been seeking.
Inspiring Philosophy, where faith meets understanding.
I'm sorry, Master, but I must go all out. Just this once. I don't like you, Muhammad. Dawa boys, you've left me no choice. Bible's been corrupted, that should go to line. But you claim the same book, prophesize your sign, twisting every scripture, faking all the quotes, hiding all the facts, trying to keep your boat afloat. Without lies, Islam dies. Perfect preservation, yeah, that myth got wrecked. Worldly Quran don't even match the text. Used to flex science, now you backing away, cause camel embryo facts don't hit the same today. Got the Islamic dilemma, you can't solve that. Every answer you give makes the problem snap back. Say the Bible's corrupt, but your own book cries. Bibles are Allah's words, they can't be revised. If Allah's words can't change, then your claims are fraud. You just argued yourself against the word of your God. Injil's secret book, that's your mystery prize. But the Quran said Christians should judge by it. Lies, then your crew pull muted like it's just a game. Ruined the life and trashed a man's name. All that dawah talk, but when truth appears, you vanish from the chat like it hurt your ears. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawah cries when the facts arise. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawah cries when the facts arise. We follow Jesus better, sure in your dream, while cutting out his claims like you're cropping the meat. Crown off his head, toss his cross in the bin. The smile for the camera like you're still his kin. Jesus was a Muslim, cute little twist. Redefine the word so the facts don't exist. If labels could change what the records prove, if Pharaoh was a Yahweh fan and Judah stayed true, Muhammad in the Song of Solomon, boy, you made your prophet a fruit. Snuggled up with Solomon and came the man of Ozu. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawah cries when the facts arise. You preach perfect text, but the proof ain't there. Half wash, even your readers don't care. Call the Bible corrupt, but still quote it loud. Trying to find Muhammad just to please the crowd. Song of Solomon, yeah, that's a flesh effect. You just wrote your prophet in the Solomon's bed. Then the man of Al-Zu came riding through all night long. And you say that's true. Jesus was a Muslim, the word plays dead. By that logic, Pharaoh bowed his head. You twist, you spin, but you can't disguise that every Dawah claim is built on lies. Without lies, without lies, without lies, without
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the call-in show today. Hope everybody's doing well. Cyberpunk Dingo is going to be joining us. He is running a bit late because it's super early over there in Australia. It is Friday morning. So he asked if he could join a little later, and he will. So he should be here within the hour. So until then, I will just take call-ins by myself. You know what's really weird is there were like 3 callers that have already popped in and out in between me doing starting and going. Some people are saying light raid from who? Oh, from Light. Okay. Every time I get a raid from Light, I'm like, oh, awesome. But I'm like, I think they mean like light raid as in terms of like it was just a light raid from somebody. Like somebody sent over a light raid. And I'm like, so I think it's an adjective, not that it is the streamer Light. So I'm always like, wait a minute. What do you mean light raid? Oh, that, yeah, Light the streamer. Awesome. Well, glad you're all here. So as I was saying, it's funny. I had like during the countdown, I had 3 callers jump in and out real fast. So guys, patience, let the countdown finish. I would have brought you up immediately. So if any Muslims are watching, just come back in, or you guys can come in and we will take you in immediately. Until then, I'm going to go through some super chats here. So yeah, thank you for coming, everyone. Cyberpunk Dingo will be joining soon. And yeah, if we get any callers, we will bring them in and have a nice little chit chat. So let me go through some of these here. So thank you, Randy, for gifting 5 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Much appreciated. And yes, the link to join TikTok. Oh my goodness. Every time I do a live on TikTok, it will take less than 5 minutes. And immediately it's like, we're striking this live. And I have to immediately appeal. I don't know what it is about TikTok. I don't know why this app gets away with so much BS. But my goodness, anytime I go live, it's like restricted live because you said hi too fast. And when that was suspicious. The collab we all wanted but didn't deserve. Correct. You know, you don't deserve anything from me. Too sexy for my hair. That's an awesome username, especially given your profile pic. That's pretty awesome. So, thoughts on Beck Lover calling Paul the great deceiver when Allah is called the greatest of all deceivers? This is true. This is in put that up there. So they hide it in the translations, but if you look in the English of Surah 354, it's very clearly referring to deceiver, and this is what native Arabic speakers have continuously told me. Some are a little bit more honest. They'll say it's schemers. Kind of still strange, though. But yeah, yes, very much the case. Thank you for gifting another 5 Inspiring Philosophy memberships, Randy. Thank you so much. Can you explain Allah's shin? Is it merely metaphorical, or is it an actual attribute of Allah? But he's nothing like his creation, so how can he have a shin even metaphorically? The religion of confusion at its best. Yeah, so if you're more of a more modernist Muslim, or like if you're going to be like a Sufi Ismaili, which a lot of like Sunni will just say are heretics, they'll take it metaphorically. But if you're more of like a Salafi, a Wahhabi, you hold to the Athari creed, you're going to have to say that it's a literal actual shin. And this is in the hadith. Like in the hadith, there's a whole hadith about Allah appearing to the believers on the day and lifting up his glorious shin. And that's how they'll recognize him. So going on, it seems, so if you go through the hadith, it seems very clear this is a real actual shin. And this is why even some of their top apologists will say, yeah, that Allah is spatial. He has an actual body. It's not like creation, like he's got a foot and a shin, but it's not like anything there. Still kind of strange here. So let me bring in my first guest here. Proud Muslim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
How are you doing? So I'm guessing you're a Muslim?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim.
All right, welcome to the show. So were you born and raised a Muslim, or did you convert or revert, I guess is what you would say?
I was born and raised.
Born and raised Muslim. Okay. So can I ask why you're a Muslim then? Is there like a good reason that you stay Muslim?
Yeah, there's a good reason why I stayed Muslim. Because I had a dream about heaven, and there was a mosque there, so I believe it. I'm not going to go in details, but long story short, there was a mosque there, and it was Islamic heaven, and I believe it. And I believe the hadith, every single word. I believe every single hadith and the Quran, and every single word is wise and smart.
Everything in the Quran is wise and smart.
Everything in the Quran and the hadith.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just focusing on the Quran right now. So if you were to find errors in the Quran, would that make you leave Islam?
There's no errors.
Okay, I know you don't think there are, but hypothetically, if I could show you errors, would that make you leave Islam?
No.
You wouldn't. So you'd stay a Muslim if there were errors in the Quran.
Because the Quran is made to have no errors, so it's 100% preserved and everything, and there's no errors.
Yep, I know that's what you believe.
It's impossible for me to imagine that there's errors in the Quran because it's the true religion, and the true religion won't have errors.
Okay, but so that means if there was a religion with errors, that would mean that it is not the true religion then, right?
Can I ask a hypothetical, which I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna convert to Christianity, but if I did convert, would you give me a free Bible?
Of course.
You would you choose an expensive one for me if I told you to get a Pacific one?
I would get
Laugh.
you any if you became a Christian today, I would not only order you a Bible, I would order you additional books to read to help you understand what Christianity teaches.
Okay, that was just a hypothetical. I don't plan to convert, but you could give me scriptures if you want.
Sure. I would like to go to Surah 381 and talk to you about this verse because I find this verse quite confusing.
Okay.
So let me put this on the screen here. Okay. So do you see that?
I'm on my phone. If you could zoom it in, or you could give me the chapter number, I could put it up on my screen.
Yeah, it's Surah 381, Ali Imran. 3 and then verse and then ayah 81.
Yeah, I'm just getting it up now.
No worries. Take your time. No rush here. Let me know when you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I'll read what I have here. What translation are you using?
I think it's the same one. I just got Quran.com.
Okay, yeah. So remember when Allah made a covenant with the prophet saying, now that I've given you the book and wisdom, if there comes to you a messenger confirming what you have, you must believe in him and support him. He added, do you affirm this covenant and accept this commitment? They said, yes, we do. Allah said, then bear witness, and I too am a witness. Okay. So according to this, Allah made a covenant with the prophets, gave them a book and wisdom. Now, the people that follow the prophets, okay, are told that if a messenger comes confirming what we have, we must believe in him and support him. So far, so good?
Yep.
Okay. What do I have as a Christian?
I don't know. What do you have as a Christian?
We have the Bible, the Old and New Testament.
Okay.
So, we have the old. So, does the Quran confirm the Old and New Testament?
It don't confirm. It confirms. It confirms the New and the Old Testament, and it also confirms it has corruption in it.
Okay, so hold up. That's not what this verse is talking about. So according to this verse, though, we should reject Muhammad, though, because he's not confirming what we have, though, correct?
No, he's given the same message as Moses and all the other prophets.
But it's talking about confirming what we have, what Christians possessed in the 7th century, right?
No, the Quran actively pokes holes in the Bible and saying, nope, that didn't happen. And it changes it. And it says, one thing and then another thing. The Quran is just correcting the Bible. So the Quran is just a book that corrects the Bible.
Hold up. We can get to that in a minute. I'm perfectly fine going to any other verse after this that you think the Quran is correcting the Bible. But right here, I want to start here with this verse first, starting with this verse before we move on to other ones. We should, based on this verse, we should reject Muhammad because he didn't confirm what we have.
Why should Prophet Muhammad confirm what you have?
That's what the verse is saying. He says that we were given a book of wisdom, and if there comes a messenger confirming what we have, we have to support him. So if a messenger comes not confirming what we have, we should not support him then.
You think that God sent down Prophet Muhammad to, spread the message of Islam and correct the Bible. Okay. And, not everything in the Bible is corrupted. You get me? But
you're also, not dealing with what I'm saying. Let's start with what I'm saying. Just on this. So if I said to you, for example, as a Muslim, if somebody comes along, let's say an imam or a sheikh, confirming what you have, you should support him. Now, let's say somebody comes along like, I don't know, Mirza Ghulam Ahmed, who started the Ahmadiyya movement. You should reject him because he doesn't confirm what you have, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's
So-
completely different.
Yeah. So is not the Quran completely different than what we have as Christians?
You think the Quran wants to you think the Quran needs to confirm that Jesus is God or something? No. It
I'm
came
not-
to
I didn't
correct
say
it.
the Quran
It's that
says that.
simple. The Quran is a corrector. It corrects the Bible. It
Okay.
teaches the Bible, yep, that verse is wrong. It should have been like this. God didn't create the earth in 6 days and got tired like the Christian God did. It just
Okay.
corrects simple things like that.
Let's go to another verse then. Surah 241. So this is in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah 2, verse 41. It says, believe in my revelations, which you and I would agree is the Quran, which confirm your scriptures. Do not be the first to deny them or trade them for a fleeting gain, and be mindful of me. So according to this
Yeah, I
verse,
believe
why should we believe in the Quran?
because the Quran is his scriptures and what was before it, there's
So-
some preserved words in the Bible.
So
And
according to this
we
verse,
can
we should believe in the
absolutely
Quran
agree.
because it's confirming our scriptures.
We should believe in the Quran because it's correcting their scriptures.
Where does it say correct?
Yeah, I mean it just corrects it. Like for example, like every verse corrects like certain bits of the Bible.
Show me
Like,
one
God
place
can't
the
get
Quran
fatigued.
claims to correct the Bible.
Okay, I think it's 7 days or something. God created the heavens and earth, and God did
the
not
verse?
get struck by fatigue. That's a verse in the Quran, and in the Bible it says, yeah, God got struck by fatigue, and I think it was created in 6 or 7 days. Not 7 days on Quran, 6 days, I think, as far as I remember
Again,
reading that.
Where does the Quran claim to correct the Bible? Show me in the Quran.
It corrects it by picking out verses in the Bible and correcting them.
Okay,
It's
where
throughout
does the
the
Quran
Quran.
claim it's picking out verses in our scriptures to correct?
I mean, if you use your brain and you're reading the Bible and the Quran together, you see, oh, that's what the Bible is saying. That's what the Quran is saying. The Quran,
Where does the Quran
was
ever
not
think the Bible
ignorant.
says that?
The,
Where does
the
Quran ever
Muslims
think
were
the
not
Bible says that?
ignorant. The Muslims were not ignorant when the Quran came out. They knew about the Bible, and
Okay,
they
did
obviously saw
Muhammad-
that.
Did Muhammad read the Bible?
No, he did not read the Bible. He didn't know
Right.
anything about the Bible. He
Oh,
got
okay.
the he
Dude,
got the revelation. He got the revelation from God because that's the true prophet. So he got the revelations. He knew nothing about the Bible. He didn't read
Proud.
it. But what he did get was
Proud.
information from God, and God gave him all the information.
Hold on. What's your name? What can I call you?
Proud Muslim.
Okay, I'm just going to call you Proud. Proud, you just contradicted yourself. You told me the Muslims knew about the Bible. Then I asked you if Muhammad read the Bible. You said, no, he didn't know anything about the Bible. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
You need to show- hold
Allah
up,
gave
hold up,
him
hold
Allah
up,
gave him
hold
the
up.
revelations.
Bro, you got to let me finish talking. Okay, please don't interrupt. Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, if that's the case, if he didn't read the Bible, show me where Muhammad, through Allah, because Allah is supposedly giving these revelations to him, show me where it says he needs to correct the Bible. According to you, he didn't know what was in there. So when he brings up
It's
verses
not-
that you think are correcting the Bible, you need to show me where you think he's correcting the Bible and not just the beliefs of the people at the time.
It's not about the beliefs. Allah is correcting it. Allah doesn't directly say, "Yeah, I'm going to correct the Bible." The Quran is the ultimate final book.
Does
and
the Quran
correct
say it's
book,
correcting the Bible? Or
preserved.
does it say the opposite? That it's confirming? our
Yeah, it says they changed the words with the hands and the tongues. So
Where?
that's talking about the Bible.
Where does it say
in
they
the
changed
Quran.
the words of the Torah or the Gospel or anything in our scriptures?
They changed the scriptures with the hands in the
Where?
Quran. It doesn't mention specifically the Bible, but
Right.
what other religion is there that is similar to Islam? Probably Christianity and, well, not Christianity, the Jewish religion is probably the closest. The Christianity is a bit confused.
Okay. Once again, you're claiming the Quran is correcting the Bible, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Show me where it says it's doing that, because it's saying the exact opposite here. It's claiming to confirm our scriptures, and that's the reason we should believe in the Quran.
Okay.
It's confirming our scriptures.
I don't know what verse that is, but I'm just going to look it up. It's where they changed the words with the hands. Let me get the verse.
You know what? To save time, I will tell you where it is, because if you don't know,
Okay.
it's Surah 279.
Yes, please. Can you read it?
Woe to those who distort the scriptures with their own hands and say this is from Allah, seeking a fleeting gain. So woe to them for what their hands have written, and woe to them for what they have earned. Show me where this is talking about the Torah or anything that is in our Bible.
Logically, when that verse came out, everybody in their minds will be thinking of Christianity, certain people changing the words. Most people will be thinking like that. I think like that, and the whole world thinks like that. It points back to Christianity. You don't have to explicitly say it. The Quran doesn't want to say.
Just to be clear, it doesn't actually say distort in the Arabic. It says right. So to be clear.
Yeah, I mean the right. What the right with the hands and say is from God. Okay. When it's not.
How do you know
God.
This is talking about the Torah or anything in the Bible?
It's obvious. If we look at the Bible and we read the Bible. And when it says God was struck by fatigue when he created the heavens and the earth, the Quran says God was not struck by fatigue
when he created the earth is in our scriptures
and the heavens.
It needs to correct that.
I mean, God chose to specifically mention, "I am not fatigued."
In our scriptures, that the Quran needs to correct this belief.
This belief. So repeat that.
Where does the Quran say, oh, Jews and Christians, in your scriptures, you think it teaches you that God was fatigued, which it actually doesn't. You need to actually read Psalm 121.
Okay.
But no, where does it actually say that? Because this is not talking about our scriptures. The context shows that, as I pointed out numerous times.
Let me get that chapter out.
Okay, hold up. Before we move on to that, I want to finish talking about 279. You know what 280 says?
Yeah.
So some of the Jews claim the fire will not touch us except for a number of days. So these two verses are connected. If 279 is talking about our scriptures, where is the belief the fire will not touch us except for a number of days? Where is that in any of the Jewish scriptures?
I mean, this don't have to be in the scriptures. It could have been a time where the Jews believed that.
Yes. Yeah. You know where that is? That's in the Talmud. It's in Rosh Hashanah 17a. So what is it 279 talking about? It's talking about them substituting with the Talmud. They're writing something, passing it off as scripture, i.e. the Talmud. Because right after this, once again, the Quran claims to confirm our scriptures. Just go to 291.
Yes, I know it confirms it, but it also
hold up. What does that say there that I've highlighted for you?
It confirms it, but it also
so if our scriptures were corrupted, then why is Allah confirming corrupted scriptures?
Allah's not confirming it. He's clearly stating that they distort the words, and God is clearly pulling out words from the Bible where it says God was struck by fatigue when he created the heavens and the earth. But
Show
Allah
me where
wasn't.
It says he's pulling that out of the Bible.
When the Bible talks about God created the heavens and earth and God was struck by fatigue, once he created it, he needed to rest. Fatigue is resting. When Allah created it, he created it in a shorter period of time, and he was not struck by fatigue. It's that simple. It's logical brains.
I'm gonna ask again, and I'm getting frustrated now. Show me where Allah says in the Quran he's correcting a belief in our scriptures, not just correcting a misunderstanding that people had during that time.
The correction is the words in the Bible.
Where?
God picks it out.
Chapter and verse. Show me in the Quran.
Okay, all right. Let me pull it up. I don't know what chapter it is, but just give me 2 seconds while I pull it up.
All right. I'll do the super chat here. Skyscraper Philosopher says, call-in shows with Muslims are way more entertaining. Mashallah, you are correct, sir. Absolutely. And we love Muslims here. Even though we do get kind of frustrated sometimes when we ask questions and we don't get answers. We get deflections. Theme music didn't have to go so hard, but you did it anyway, and we thank you for that. Of course, you're very much welcome, sir. Theme music always goes hard here, as it should. Could you do a video about the Son of Man? He is a distant figure, or have been reading a bit of Bart Ehrman. Yeah, I will eventually. I think Than is working on something. He's got a bunch of research on that. So yeah, we will get to that. Did you find it yet, Proud?
Yes, I found it. I'm just gonna
All right.
pull up.
If you pull it, tell me where it is. I'll put it on the screen.
It's Surah Kaf 5038.
5038.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to put this on the screen. All right. Indeed, we created the heavens and the earth and everything in between in 6 days, and we were not touched with fatigue. Where does it say this is a problem in our scriptures?
And
That's
can
what
we
he
get
asked me.
can you get the Bible one up as well, please? Where God created the heavens on earth and he was struck by fatigue in the Bible. I forgot what chapter it is in the Bible.
My goodness. Once are you not hearing me? Are you okay?
See that right there, yeah. God was
are you
not
okay?
struck by fatigue. God was not struck by fatigue. In the Bible, it says God was struck by fatigue when God created the heavens in 7 days. Instead of 6 days, in the Bible, it says 7 days, and God was struck by fatigue.
You don't know what's in the Bible.
Allah had to clearly state, God had to clearly state, he was not struck by fatigue.
Can you read what's on the screen?
He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps his... I can't see. I'm on the phone.
He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he keeps Israel, will neither slumber nor sleep. So the Bible says God does not slumber or sleep.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up the Bible scripture. I just have to search it.
No, we're going back to this, or I'm going to kick you. You need to once again answer my question.
Why don't you want me to pull up that verse? Why don't you want?
Have a good day, man. How many times did I ask him for one verse to show me where the Quran claims to be correcting the Bible? Where? He can't answer the question because he knows it doesn't exist. The Quran over and over again claims to confirm our scriptures over and over again, like a broken record. But again, the Quran never means what it says. It means the exact opposite. It means correcting, even though the Quran never says that. These Muslims, man, I tell you, they will not listen. They know if they were just honest with what the Quran says, they'd have to leave Islam. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Let's bring in another Muslim here. Let's see if we can have a much better conversation here. Quit, are you there? You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. How are you doing? You're a Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a voice changer on?
I do. I don't feel comfortable saying my voice.
I get it. So what channel do you run?
I don't run a channel.
Okay. So let me ask you then, were you listening to the last conversation?
A little bit off and on.
Okay. And what is your response when the Quran claims to confirm our scriptures in Surah 241?
Well, I don't think it does.
Okay. What is it saying then?
I think it's confirming an earlier version of the scriptures that are now lost.
Okay, then why does Surah 241 use the phrase Baina Yadehi, confirming what is with you?
Because it's only confirming parts of it.
Okay, so where does it say that?
That can be logically inferred.
It can be logically inferred from what?
The Arabic.
The Arabic. Okay, so again, I need some details here if we're going to have a conversation. What shows that?
I think you can just figure that out if you look at the text.
All right, well, here's a bunch of verses on the screen. Okay? Confirming what is between his hands, confirming what is between my hands, confirming what is between his hands, confirming what is with you, what is with you, what is with them, what is with them. Over and over again, like a beating drum, the Quran says in multiple places, it's confirming what we have. Not something that we lost, confirming what we have, what we possess.
Where does it say confirming all of it?
Literally on the screen in front of you.
It just says confirming what's with you. It doesn't say confirming every part of it.
All right, well, let's go to a place then. I'm going to go to Surah 692. One of these verses on the screen, you see it?
Yeah.
So I want to go to Surah 692. Okay. This is the blessed book, which we have revealed, confirming what came before it. So you may warn the mother of cities and everyone around it. So you see the issue already. This actually says in the Arabic, confirming what is between his hands, or Baina Yadehi, what is with you.
Well, maybe it does confirm that part.
That part.
But I have another question for you. Your
Hold
stream.
We can do that. We can do the stream topic. I was waiting for Cyberpunk Dingo to get here to focus more on that. But I will move to that topic for you if we just look at the context here. So if we go to the very prior verse, it says, and they have not shown Allah's proper reverence when they say Allah has revealed nothing to any human being. Say, who then revealed the book brought forth by Moses as a light and guidance for people, which you split into separate sheets, revealing some and hiding much. So Allah is scolding them for hiding part of their scriptures. Right after this, he says he's confirming what they possess. So he's telling them he's confirming all of it, not just the parts they're revealing. He wants to confirm all of it, including the parts they're hiding.
Okay, so maybe he is confirming all of it, but are we 100% sure that what we have, all of it, is contradictory to Islam? Maybe they can go side by side.
Maybe they can. Why don't we go to the Bible and see if we can do that?
Go ahead.
Okay. So let me see here. Let's just go to Luke 24. So Luke 24 is one of our gospels. Let me put this up on the screen for you. So this is in Luke 24. This is Jesus. He appears to his disciples. He says, then starting in verse 44, he says, then he said to them, these are my words that I spoke to you while I was with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms must be fulfilled. Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures and said to them, thus it is written that the Christ should suffer and on the third day rise from the dead, and that the repentance for the forgiveness of sins should be proclaimed in his name to all nations, beginning from Jerusalem. You are my witnesses of these things, and behold, I am sending the promise of my Father upon you, but stay in the city until you're clothed with power from on high. And he led them out as far as Bethany, lifting up his hands, and he blessed them. While he blessed them, he parted from them and was carried up into heaven, and they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and they were continually in the temple blessing God. Can you believe this as a Muslim?
I would say no.
Okay, so then we have a contradiction between the scriptures.
Possibly.
Okay. So then why be a Muslim if the Quran is saying that it's confirming these scriptures but contradicting them?
I'm not sure.
That's very honest. So that's just it. Would that be something you can take away and think about then?
I'll think about it.
All right. So what did you want to talk about with regards to the topic then?
Well, I wanted to bring up, you like to say Islam is evil, right? And the Quran is evil? Well,
I would say, well, hold up. I would just to clarify, I would say Islam, yeah, it is evil because of things the Quran teaches. Not everything in the Quran is evil, though.
What about in Quran 68 where it says that you're not forbidden from being nice to the people who don't believe?
I think it's perfectly fine. What about it?
Well, doesn't that mean that Islam is not evil?
No. It would be evil because of other things. Like, for example, you can find bad stuff in the Talmud, but you can find good stuff in the Talmud. I would not say the whole Talmud is good because I can find one good thing in it.
So what do you think makes Islam evil? Could you give me a verse?
Yeah, sure. Let me, I'd be more than happy to. You've been very respectful and I appreciate that. Sorry, I was a little annoyed and frustrated from the last guy who was not being respectable and kept interrupting. So let me see if I can pull this up. Okay. This is Surah 65:4. As for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period, or iddah, is 3 months. And for those who have not menstruated as well. So right then and there, the Quran sanctions marrying and divorcing you get it, little girls, basically.
What if it's just about those who have medical conditions.
That would include those for sure, but it doesn't specify. It's very general, and every commentator from Qurtubi, Tabari, Ibn Kathir, Jalalain all agree this includes women that are too young because they've not menstruated yet.
Well, can you prove that's evil?
Yes, child marriage is evil. Do I need to prove that?
Well, Muhammad did it, so it can't be evil.
But that's circular reasoning. You're assuming that he's not evil, therefore anything he does can't be evil.
Well, what about the miracles in the Quran?
There aren't any miracles Muhammad did in the Quran. In fact, it says the opposite. He didn't do any.
Well, what about when the moon split?
It doesn't say he split the moon. It says the moon is cleft asunder. It's very vague. And then later hadith say this is Muhammad splitting the moon, but there's no evidence in the Quran. In fact, the Quran says he's just a messenger. When they ask him for miracles in like Surah 29, I can show you. Just go to Surah 29. I believe it's verse 50. Yeah, let's just read this whole thing here. Surah. They say, if only some sign had been sent down from his Lord, say, O prophet, signs are only with Allah. See, only with Allah. And I am only sent with a clear warning. Is it not enough for them that we've sent down to you the book, which is recited to them? Surely in this Quran is a mercy and a reminder for the people who believe. So right then and there, they ask him for signs or miracles, and only Allah does that, and you're just a warner.
Back to the thing about the moon being split. Have you heard of the guy who wrote down that he also saw that the moon split and he became a Muslim?
Where is that written?
I don't have the exact reference, but
Yeah,
there was a guy who wrote that down, and he later became a Muslim.
It's only in Islamic sources that are much later divorced from the time period. Like, for example, I will flat out tell you that like 2nd century works, like the Proto-Evangelium of James, is too late and unreliable. So, I mean, you're talking about works that are a long time after that. So, yeah, I'm not convinced. But back to the child marriage thing. Like, do you want me to show you that child marriage is bad and wrong and actually harms children?
If you can.
Of course I can. I've got a ton of studies showing this, that it causes an incredible amount of harm. And I actually did a debate a couple years ago with Daniel Hakikachu, his channel. He's got a YouTube channel here. It's called The Muslim Skeptic. I had a debate with him on this, and he admitted that in Islam, if a girl were to start precocious puberty as young as 11 months, that it would be okay to marry her off and consummate that marriage, which is kind of horrible to think about. So let me pull up some reviews I have here. Let me see. I got one. Here's one. Here's a pretty good one. So this is a narrative review of several studies on child marriage. So this one is called Overlooked and Unaddressed, a narrative review of mental health consequences of child marriage. So they report all sorts of horrible things. Depression was most reported. Mental disorder, anxiety, phobia, psychological distress, substance misuse, negative well-being, and antisocial personality disorder were reported less frequently. In other words, when girls were married young, it caused all sorts of mental disorders, all sorts of horrible things. And we can just go through and look at some other things I've highlighted in here. Other issues include psychological well-being, stress, suicidality, and substance misuse and other mental disorders resulting from child marriage. Early marriage increased depression risk by 2.77 times, even after adjusting for substance abuse, unemployment, age, residence, and negative life events. Those married early had higher rates of adjustment disorder associated with lower education, self-confidence, decision-making power, childhood freedom of mobility, and peer social network. I mean, it just goes on and on about this kind of stuff. This always leads to horrible issues, intimate partner violence, because men that tend to seek out young girls tend to have their own mental issues. That's why they're not seeking mature women that are more on their level. They want people to dominate and control, and then they also display that in other ways with, like, intimate partner violence. So it resorts to all sorts of problems. There's not a researcher alive that would disagree and think that child marriage is a good thing. And I've not even gotten to the physical problems it causes.
But maybe Muhammad didn't know that, and it was also okay for the time, wasn't it?
No, because girls are the same they are today, except that girls matured slower in Muhammad's day. So they were maturing even slower, especially physically.
Yeah, but everyone at the time in the culture, they thought it was okay.
So Muhammad was a product of the corrupt culture of his time and not actually getting revelations from somebody who knew better.
Or maybe Allah revealed it.
Allah revealed that it's okay for child marriage to occur.
In that one scenario.
Okay, so that's not what the Quran says, though. The Quran sanctions child marriage in Surah 65:4, as I showed you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have done more research.
No, you're good, man.
I came off a little overconfident. I'll look more into it. This stuff really, it does seem a little bit messed up now that I think about it.
Yeah, it does seem messed up. And I think you're being very honest. I think you're being very humble about this stuff. And I applaud you for that. And I would say go away, take some of the stuff we talked about with the Islamic dilemma and the harm that Islam causes. And just think about your beliefs. Think about this kind of stuff, because this is important stuff that we should really consider when we're making these kind of decisions that will affect our eternity.
Okay, have a good day.
You too, man. Have a good day. Well, thank you. Well, look who it is. What's going on?
What is up? IP, how's it going?
How's it going? Good to have you. Nice to talk to you finally.
Yeah, you too.
Awesome.
God, it's very early here in Australia. I was like, wake up. All right, prep, go and speak to IP.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to have you on for a while, so it's great to finally have you on. This is awesome. For those who don't know, this is Cyberpunk Dingo. He is an ex-Muslim. He's got his own channel that's exploding. So go subscribe to him, because it's a pretty awesome. I have it linked in the video title. And we are trying to support more ex-Muslims because of the hate they get from the community they left. It's quite crazy sometimes. My goodness. So, you ready to dive in? Did you want to cover anything before we bring up some more callers?
No. We can jump right in.
All right. So just Muslims, just so you know, if you're going to come up here and you're going to use dark tactics, just know that this fellow here, he wants you to know you merely adapted to the darkness. He was born into it, molded by it. He didn't see the light until he was a grown man, and then it was only blind. So, all right. Yeah. So welcome, everybody. Let's bring up our next guest here. Secure, are you there? Secure.
Yeah, this is a Muslim only one, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't paying attention. I was just watching the stream itself.
All right.
My bad. God bless you. I'm a Christian, by the way. I did watch that debate with Libiano, or whatever his name is, the Orthodox Muslim, from months and months ago. That guy, I mean, man, like, even by their own standards, the Daniel prophecy would fail, because the Muslim caliphate that connected to, there was a break in the caliphate. Like, the Ottomans aren't connected to the Muhammad's caliphate, right? Because the last one that isn't connected with them is the Umayyad, I'd like to say.
Yeah, there's 1,000 ways to debunk that. But yeah, there's
some great. Yeah. But anyways, God bless you. Sorry about that. I thought this was
no worries.
Calling straight.
No worries. Thanks for coming, man. Let's bring up this guest here. Muslim, are you there? Muslim.
Interesting name. Just Muslim?
I guess so. Are you there, man? Hello? All right. He might not be there. We'll just put him back down in the queue for a minute here. Let me do some super chats. Are you going to respond to Paulo G again? Yeah, we're already, I think Thanda's already working on that. Yep. Don't worry. It's pretty bad. Thank you for gifting 5 Inspiring Philosophy memberships, Randy. Thank you. Much appreciated. And yeah, I asked Paulo G to debate me. He said no, he doesn't want to do that. Let me send a quick message here to Muslim to see if he would come up, because I'll bring him back up if he answers me. Lamb Apologetic says, speaking of Islam and morality, shameless plug alert, I'm making a video on why Muhammad cannot possibly be an objective moral deliberator. Awesome. Good to hear. Light says probably a mild raid next time, but what's up, IP? Love you, melanated king. I might email you or text you in the Discord if you're there. Thank you. Thank you. I will try, but I never am on Discord. So if you want to message me, do it in the chat. Thank you so much there, Jacob, for that. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the shekels. This is the new system. How we get paid by Israel is through these shekels that they send in. A little bit off topic, but how do you reconcile the doctrine of the doors of hell being closed from the inside with the parable of the 10 virgins? Simply put, it's a parable. It's not meant to be entirely literal. And there's a lot to go into that. Here's this super chat I wanted to get to. So, would you do a stage debate with an AP where he defends Islam and you walk through tactics, escape routes, thought processes in their argument, breaking fourth wall to explain an actual respectful debate that wouldn't be possibly normal? God bless you, IP. I don't know. I could do something like that. Would you consider doing something like that, like a mock debate where you pretend to be a Muslim or something? You. Yeah, you.
I would.
Okay.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I feel like I haven't done that many debates like that, but yeah, I could. I mean, if I was listening to your previous caller before, probably not something like that where he immediately jumps to what's wrong with child marriage. That's difficult.
Yeah, it'd be hard. I don't want to defend child marriage. I would be having a
Yeah.
hard time having, I couldn't even bring myself to do that in a mock debate. But yeah, because my goodness, it's pretty freaking evil. All right. Thank you for all you do. God bless. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Unk alert. I don't know why I get these. I don't know why I get them, man. I get so many of these, and I'm not even sure if it's meant to be an insult or a compliment. Do you know? Because I never know.
Well,
Yeah.
they're calling you old.
I get it. Yeah. I'm pretty old. I'm practically have a foot in the grave. So yeah, I get it. I'm definitely some sort of old person. What did the Muslim painter say when he finished his masterpiece? Wallahi.
Yeah.
That's a good one there. I have in a few weeks an open dialogue with a Muslim community. Please pray for me that the Holy Spirit gives me the right words in their heart. We will definitely do that. Thank you. Thank you for your good work, sir. God bless. Thank you so much. It's because that's why this is true. Thank you so much. Rested in Hebrews is Shabbat, from which we get Sabbath. It literally means to cease, stop, or complete an activity, not to collapse from exhaustion. Right, exactly. Yeah, that comes from earlier. I was talking to a Muslim before you got here, man. He was trying to say the Quran is correcting the Bible, and it's correcting Genesis where it says that God rested on the seventh day. And he's like, but it says that the Quran is correcting that. And so I was not really focusing on the Bible. I was trying to say things like, well, okay, does the Quran claim it's correcting that? Or does it just think it's correcting a misunderstanding? And he wouldn't answer me. He kept running to what the Bible was saying and thinking that was going to help him, But yeah, it doesn't mean rest. It like as in someone was tired. It refers to someone taking up residency. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what he thought he was doing there. Wasn't really doing much.
Yeah, look, when I was young, I don't think I had even heard about the Islamic dilemma. Like that was not something that was discussed very much, at least when I went to Islamic school. Yeah, nothing like that. I don't think even people who were essentially arguing against Islam back then ever brought it up. It's certainly, but watching guys like yourself and God Logic recently, yeah, I found it very interesting. It's a great argument, but luckily for me, at least I've left Islam.
Yeah. So I want to ask, I'm sure you've explained it in one of your videos. I've not been able to watch them all, but why did you leave Islam? Do you want to explain any of that?
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen my stuff before, I was actually born in the Maldives, which is one of the few countries in the world that still has the death penalty for apostasy. They claim that they are a 100% Islamic country, which is absolutely false. They essentially enforce it through law. So to be a citizen, you have to be a Muslim. Obviously, they don't get tested very much because if you do openly declare that you're an apostate, or even if you're questioning the religion, you're obviously going to get into a lot of trouble. But ironically enough, I didn't leave Islam because I suddenly jumped in and, started questioning it. I actually met another ex-Muslim online. And back then you had MSN Messenger. That's where I met this guy. And I couldn't believe it. I genuinely could not. I was like, here's someone who was born into the religion, so really lucky, I would have thought, and yet he has decided to leave. So I just spoke to him. Why did you leave? And he would say the Quran and the Hadith says this and this. Obviously, I'm not an Arab, so I didn't understand the Arabic. All our prayers, everything was done in Arabic. And the irony is essentially it's just like repeating gibberish because you don't really know what you're saying, but that is how you're taught how to pray. I mean, like you could, I guess, verbalize the words in the Quran, but unless you look at the translation somewhere, you wouldn't know what you're saying really. And once you start looking at the actual scripture, you're like, oh man, there's a few problems here. And I think as many ex-Muslims would tell you, I think the number one side of reason probably is Muhammad's character for a lot of Muslims leaving, like things like his marriage to Aisha, for example. But I think the pure hatred I felt like that he had, I guess for Jews and Christian women, I certainly saw up close how women were treated in Muslim society, and I think that had a big impact on me because these aren't people who are distant from me, like these are my mom, my sisters, my aunts. The way they are treated and what they believed as to what their position is in society because they're women, and this is what Islam teaches. Like I remember like that famous hadith where Muhammad essentially says that a woman's intelligence is deficient or half that of a man, and I remember my grandmother just casually dropping that once to me, being like, oh yeah, you know what? Women, they're not very clever because the Prophet said so. I was like, what? Obviously, being a kid at the time, I wouldn't think about it very much. But in hindsight, like as I was questioning it more, I was like, wait a minute, she actually did say that.
Wow.
They actually believe shit like this. And, there are other things like during funerals, women could not go into the actual burial and things like that. And the reason given was because I believe Muhammad thought they would get hysterical. But that's just, you've essentially turned your family, one half of your society, into second-class citizens. Yeah. And once you go down that rabbit hole, it's very hard not to question it. And yeah, I definitely did not come out and say I was a non-Muslim for a very long time because there have been a number of Maldivian ex-Muslims, apostates who have actually, like people that I knew, who have actually gotten killed. So that obviously was extremely dangerous. As you know, Islam is extremely peaceful. So anyone who criticizes it, their head gets chopped off. But later in life, obviously, I was able to do it much more openly. I didn't become a YouTuber until, like 2 years ago. End of 2023. Ironically enough, my channel blew up. I was only doing YouTube just to improve my editing skills on Premiere Pro as a hobby. But ironically, it didn't blow up until I just put out this one candid video about my experiences and what Islam talks about. And I was like, oh, crap, like people really want to hear about it. And I was like, all right, here we go. And nice. I think, I guess being from that place, like I did not, like that's one of those places that still has apostasy laws, blasphemy laws. And kind of says that it's 100% Muslim. So yeah, I guess there was a lot there that I guess people were interested in because you wouldn't have known.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I was always interested in more of that. But yeah, I'm glad you're doing a lot of videos. We need more ex-Muslims speaking out and talking about this stuff. Let's bring back Muslim and let's see if we can get him to, if his mic's now working. Are you there, man? Can you say something? Muslim, you were just talking in the private chat. And now you're not talking. And he's gone. Not sure what that was about. That was kind of strange. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see if this guy's actually a troll. I'm kind of curious what is going to happen here. So we have somebody claiming to be the Orthodox Muslim, if that's actually him. And he's muted himself. And now he's not saying anything. This is very weird.
You got a lot of trolls on these call-in shows?
Oh, all the time. All the time. This is pretty common. I don't know why he just muted himself. You there, man? Hello. I don't think it's the real Orthodox Muslim because I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, his name is Libiano. He's currently blacklisted from any debates because he called God Logic's wife a WHO. You know, you name it.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we have him completely blacklisted. So I was kind of curious. If Muslim, are you there now? Hello? Are you there?
I can hear something in the background.
We can hear something in the background. Hello? Hello? I don't know. Let's try this guy. Death penalty is okay. Are you there?
Yes, and I heard about. Yes, I was on before, and I heard about his story about apostasy. And
okay. Well, why don't you talk with him about it?
I believe, me personally, that by law, Islamic law, and you should be trialed for leaving Islam. I believe you should be executed according to the Quranic law, and I support it. And I see nothing wrong with it.
So let me get this straight. I want Cyberpunk to jump in here, but you think he should be executed?
By law, yes. By law, yes. And whatever country, I forgot what country said it. If it goes back to that country, they have a duty. They have a duty by law to arrest him and trial him in court and get juries to see if he's guilty or not. Based on this video evidence, he's guilty and he should be charged
Video evidence
with the law. And
Excellent.
let me get this
be
straight.
sent to execution. I believe that. And I support that.
Yeah, okay. Well, the topic is Islam is evil. Do we have much more to say?
I don't see anything evil about that. All I can say is Numbers 31, 17, 18 is
Oh my
evil
goodness. Are you
too.
seriously
Evil
trying that?
too by your logic. How about I
Wait,
do number
hold up.
17,
Hold up.
numbers 31, 17,
Hold up.
18 on someone?
I'm gonna mute you because you're not actually engaging in conversation. You're just trying to monologue here, sir. So just to be clear, you want him dead? Is that what you're saying? You want to unalive him? Go ahead.
Not me personally. I wouldn't do it personally, but it needs to be done by legal means. Legal means. So basically, if you're in a Muslim country, legally they are obligated to arrest you. And if you told me this in a Muslim country, I will have a duty by law to report you, let's say Saudi Arabia, to the Saudi authorities so the police can come and arrest you. I
You're
see
doing a
no
great job
problem with
showing how
that.
evil Islam is. You're trying to
I
do
will
that work for us.
snitch you out to the authorities.
You hear that, guys? In Islam, they're snitches. They're all snitches. They're admitting it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
And
so
I don't see a problem with it.
you don't see a problem with it. Okay, so let's just be clear. Do you hate us? By the way, I'm just
No,
wondering.
absolutely not. I don't hate the person, but I hope the person,
But you want
repents to
execute us.
Allah, because this is what God commanded, right? He got the truth. He got the truth, and he rejected the truth for a little gain. I believe he rejected the truth because he wants to make money off YouTube by blasting his own religion. He knows Islam is true.
You know,
Either way-
you know Islam is true, man.
Either way, Allah says they have to get punished for it, and we have to believe, we have to follow God. And if Sharia law is there, that country has
I
a
think-
duty to arrest you.
I
As a
think you were
criminal.
listening. Death penalty is okay. I left Islam, like 10, 12, maybe 15 years before I started YouTube.
What country are you in, sir?
I live in Australia.
Oh, okay. What country did you live in before?
I lived in the Maldives.
And
As
it's a
I
Muslim
grew up
country,
in
you
the
say?
Maldives.
It's
It
a
is
Muslim country, right?
country.
Okay, so I have a legal duty to report you to the local authorities, to the police. It's my duty.
I don't think
So when
that's
you do
illegal
come back,
started.
they could arrest you for crimes. It's my moral duty to report you to the police.
Okay. Listen, Death. Just to be clear, Cyberpunk. Do you have any questions for him?
No, I don't. I mean,
Okay.
I come across this all the time. You know, and many they go further than just that Muslim country. You know,
It's not that I hate you. It's just that I want to
Oh.
abide by the
You just-
laws.
It's not that he hates you. He just wants
but
you
you should
dead.
die. Yeah,
But you should die. It makes total sense here. Yeah. This is guys.
Yeah.
This is Islam. This,
and
this
I'll
is
go
what I mean.
out of my way.
It's
to
not
snitch on you
about
so that you
hatred. I
die.
don't.
What were you saying? I didn't want you to be interrupted there. Say it again.
Oh, I said, but I will go out of my way to snitch on you so that you die. But I do not hate you.
Yeah, definitely not. No, definitely not. Guys, like Muslims like this do the work for us. They show us how evil Islam is with this kind of stuff. Like it's he's showing us that this is what Islam causes. This is evil to kill somebody because they change their religion. You know what we have in the West? Freedom of religion, because we understand protecting the image of God is far more important, because that is what is sacred, not trying to force people to think like me. But that's
May
what
I
Islam
respond?
teaches. I got a question for you about this whole thing. How does this actually make society better?
It makes society better because you know, he's not a convert. If he was a convert to Islam and he left, there'll be no harm. They won't arrest him. They won't, you know, take him to trial, give him the death penalty or imprisonment. No
that's
problem with that.
That's false.
But if he's a born Muslim, he read the Quran, he studied it. There
Okay,
is no hope
so-
in him.
how does that make society better to snuff out freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of speech? How is this actually making society better?
It makes society. It don't snuff out freedom of speech. You could talk all you want. You could
So
talk
you
all
can
you
come
want
out-
in the Muslim world.
So you can come out and say, I left Islam, and you're not going to die.
Absolutely, you will get arrested.
Okay, then
You can't be a crazy person. And if a person comes out and says, "Yeah, I left Islam," and you should go and do it
Oh.
yourself, that's not your responsibility. It's the responsibility for the person to get trial, to go to court, have a fair
Listen,
chance to defend himself, and the courts will decide what to do with him legally. So
man,
he
don't
could
let
go
the-
prison.
don't let the door hit you on the way out, man. This is I can't believe we're
Yeah, I've had so many conversations somewhat similar to this, and they're always like, "Yeah, I do believe in freedom of speech, but hang on, not speech like that." It's like the Idi Amin line of thinking. You have freedom of speech, but not freedom after speech.
Mhm.
It's like,
Oh my goodness. I'm going to try to bring in this guy again. Muslim, are you there? Is this like a troll? Like, or what are you doing, man? You keep coming in and you're not. Okay. Is the fake Orthodox Muslim there? Say something. Are either of you guys here? I hear
something
someone.
in the background, Yeah.
All right, dude, we can hear you doing stuff. Say something. We can hear you.
Okay. Can you?
Oh yeah, we
I
heard
heard
you. We can hear you. Hello.
Okay. Hello. I'm having network problems as well. Okay. You can hear me now.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you said Islam is evil.
Yeah,
So
I'm here with Cyberpunk
why?
Dingo. He's an ex-Muslim. He left Islam because it's evil. Do you want to convince him otherwise?
Why? Like why did he think Islam is evil? He can't just
Why?
make a claim and say Islam is evil, and I'm here to convince him that Islam is not evil. Like, why did
Oh.
you?
Do you want to explain to him why you left Islam?
Oh, so many reasons. Maybe we can start off with the fact that I don't know if I can say this, that Muhammad married a 6-year-old, and that he is the perfect human for all of history, for all of mankind until Judgment Day. I don't agree with that.
Okay,
And I
but
think that is used as an example in a number of Islamic countries to set their age of consent laws, if those exist at all. And there's a lot of abuse because of that, which are moralized because they say Muhammad did it, so it's no longer a problem. It's just one of many. It's just one of
no,
many. I
but
mean, if you were
Islamic.
listening, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but you know that Islamically we have these rules and regulation regarding marriage, that a lady should attend should be physically matured and mentally matured before she can get married. So, like, we are following a criteria. No, age is not a yardstick for determining whether a lady is ready for marriage. Even according to the Bible, we don't have a legal age for marriage.
So 6 is mature to you.
Is six mature for
Six
you?
is a lady.
Muslim, do you think a 6-year-old is a mature woman? Are you there?
You said?
Do you think, he asked you, do you think a 6-year-old is a mature woman?
I think he's having some technical issues, isn't he?
I guess so.
A 6-year-old is a child.
Is a what?
A 6-year-old is a child. Okay.
Is a
I don't know what
I
he
didn't
said.
know.
What did you
I didn't
say?
hear
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a 6-year-old is a
you.
I
what?
said a 6-year-old is a child. It's a child.
Okay, a 6-year-old is a child, yes.
Okay, but do you know that unconsummated marriage is a common practice among these ancient people? Like, a girl can be married to someone, but the marriage will remain unconsummated. She will be at her parent home until she attains puberty.
So let me get this straight. You think it's okay the moment a girl gets her first period, you can consummate a marriage to her?
No, I don't think so.
So you disagree with Muhammad?
Did the text say is immediately after she get her first menstrual period that the marriage was consummated?
They had to feed her high-fat milk to fatten her up before it happened because she was so small.
Yeah.
This is according to the Hadith.
You said?
According to the Hadith,
I
they had to
cannot
fatten
hear
her up. According to the Hadith, Cyberpunk was saying, according to the Hadith, they had to fatten her up because she was such a small girl. This was not a mature female. This was a little girl.
According to the Hadith, she is a matured girl. Herself, she says
What
she
Hadith?
is in her parent home.
Where? What Hadith?
No, I don't cram the reference, but he knows. Also according to the hadith.
Yeah. He know, Cyberpunk. You know the hadith he's talking about, where it says Aisha's mature, right?
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah, that doesn't
No,
exist.
I'm saying you're having the mic, eh?
No, there is no hadith that
Aisha
says she was
accepts
mature.
it.
There's no hadith that says she was
She
mature.
said she attend, but she said herself she attends puberty.
No, there's no hadith that says
No,
that.
I don't think there's any hadith that says that.
Balu. The Arabic word is like balu. That's what's used for puberty or menstruation. Okay.
Well, Muslim, don't you also think if that is the standard that is set by Muhammad, and this is one of my big issues, if that is a standard, the example set by the Prophet, and even today, like if we go back to the topic, today, there are countries that derive their laws of the standard, the example that he set. Don't you think it sets a precedent that hundreds of thousands of young girls are getting married off to older men, and regardless of, you know, say she had her first period when the marriage was consummated, Muhammad was 53 or 54. Does that not bother you? I'm sure if you line up a 54-year-old man next to a 6 or 9-year-old in front of you, I don't think your immediate thought would be, this is okay. Like in real life, it's easy to disconnect ourselves from the hadith and Muhammad and all that and not visualize it. But in real life, if you saw that, you'd be like, surely, right, Muslim?
Okay, let's do one thing now. You are saying she is a child, but I can see I read a hadith that she said she attends puberty, but you are denying the hadith now. And all the
I
context
asked you
of
what the hadith
matter
was. If you
is
have
short-
a hadith, I'll pull it on the screen.
Okay, let me look for the reference. Sure.
I thought you said you had it.
I know. You just said you had it. All right.
IP, this is an interesting stream. The first one you invite me to, the first guy goes, "Yeah, you deserve to be killed," and the other one's, 6 is not a child.
This is just
No,
another
I'm
Thursday
not-
to me.
I'm not
This is just
saying that.
another Thursday, man.
Okay. So what I'm saying, the context of the matter is just showing that she's not a child. Like we have this what happens regarding certain things, like Prophet Muhammad when he married the divorced adopted wife of his adopted son. Yeah, people criticize that, but
Sure did.
why in the case of Aisha, nobody is criticizing that at his own time?
So let me get this
She
straight.
wasn't a child. After he married her, okay.
So let me get this
After he
straight. Your
married her-
standard for morality is the
Okay.
corrupt culture Muhammad was a part of. If whatever they said is good, and whatever they said is bad.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if you know this, Muslim, but Abu Bakr actually had some
No, I'm not saying
hesitations
that.
about the marriage.
Yep.
What I'm saying is that if what he did,
His mic just cut out. I don't know.
immorally,
He's still there.
that is immoral, people are going to criticize that.
Okay.
People
Let me go back
are-
to the point we were
Can you
saying.
hear me?
Okay. Are you saying that because no one criticized it in 7th century Arabia, therefore it was okay? Is that seriously your argument?
By the way, the religion executes people for apostasy or questioning the
The
prophet.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep,
Can
we're waiting on you.
Okay. So
Did you hear what we said?
I'm not saying that his culture, whatever his people think is right whatsoever, according to whatsoever culture, marrying a child, is something that is immorally wrong. So if what he did is something immoral, at least we have people at his own time criticizing this, because we have people criticizing him on other things. And after he married her,
Muslim.
with like
Muslim.
yeah, about 3 years later. Mhm.
Muslim. Question. Are you saying that if no one criticized him in the culture, therefore that makes it a good thing?
I'm saying the context is showing that she is not a child. I'm not saying
Okay.
if
No. That's not what I asked.
criticizing
Are
her
you
marriage is
saying that
child.
because no one criticized him, it was therefore okay? So whatever that culture of the time said was okay makes it
No, I'm
morally
not
okay.
saying that.
Okay, then why did you even
I'm
bring that up?
saying the fact that I said the fact that nobody criticized that, it shows that she wasn't a child. Had it been she is a child, people are going to criticize that.
a weird
Can you
connection.
man?
Yeah. If nobody criticized it, then she must not have been a child. That's a weird logic.
Yeah. So let me ask you
Okay.
this then. Can you show a 9-year-old as an adult?
Can I?
Yes, can you?
Can I show it? Okay, but then can you show me somebody that like lived for 950 years today?
I'm going to ask again or I'm going to kick you. Stop trying to deflect, okay? Can you show me a
Wildly
9-year-old as an
different
adult?
I am on the topic. According to the Bible, Noah spent 900.
According to the Bible. My goodness. Simple question. Is a 9-year-old adult? Well, in the Bible, there's a 900-year-old man. Okay, once again, I got a video, Genesis 5, 900-year-old man. The Bible's not saying people actually live that long. That is a misunderstanding of the culture. If you want to know more, check that video out. That's not what we're talking about today. Is a 9-year-old an adult? You think she was actually 9. Show me that was actually an adult. My goodness, these people. This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with over here. Thank you for gifting 5 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Mashallah. Voice changer reminds me of Weasel the Ninja. Well, or, Cora. Cora called in one day with a voice changer pretending to be a man. That was very weird.
Was that actually her?
Well, yeah, it was actually her. Yeah. We figured it out in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've noticed an uptick in niqab wearing Muslim influencers recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a...
Although I can never tell them apart.
They're running out of options as Muslims, so they're trying to throw their women now at Dawa, hoping it does something. It's just not working well. So let's bring up Truth Seeker. He's a Muslim. He wanted to talk. Go ahead, man. You're on the stage.
Hello, can you hear me?
You there? Yep.
First of all, I'm an Arab Muslim.
All right.
I was devout Muslim, but I started having my doubts early in my life, and I found out that Muhammad, there is no, how can I say it? Prophecies. There is no prophecies in the Bible about Muhammad, just like I was being told.
True.
So this was a big step for me to look into Christianity as an alternative or the biggest religion in the world, and you were my number one, influencer on me. So
Awesome.
Thanks. I have many questions, but the main one is: has the Christian doctrine been consistent for the 2,000 years that has existed?
Essential Christian doctrines have, yes. There have been different opinions on things like predestination, free will, but the essential doctrines have been consistent. Yeah,
No. I'm talking about Son, Father, Holy Spirit. I'm talking about these core elements.
Yeah,
okay.
That's even, that's in, yeah.
Okay, I watched a live stream for an Arab Muslim who said that early Christians were basically clumsy and they didn't know their doctrine. Irenaeus simply refused the divinity of the Holy Spirit, and Tertullian was subordinationist. So I want to know your response, really, because I tried to reach their books, the book of Against Heresies, it was behind a paywall, and I'm broke, so I couldn't.
Oh, you could get there's a website called newadvent.com that puts all that stuff
Yes,
up.
yes, but it is, yes, I found it. But when I read it, it was written in some like 19th century Old English. It was horrible.
Get AI to make it easier for you. Copy and paste it in.
Yeah, I mean, if you go on New Advent, I don't think it is, but I mean, I'm not sure. Now I want to go check, but last I recall, no, it was not like that. It was very much pretty readable. So, but anyway, let's talk about Tertullian to start. Let's put up this slide here. So this is Tertullian. I have a bunch of quotes in these slides here. Let me see if I can find one of my favorite ones. So this is in a bunch of his works against Praxis. Where's the apology one? Here we go. So he says, thus Christ is spirit of spirit and God of God in light of kindled. So too, and he goes on to say, the material matrix remains entire and unimpaired, though you derive from it any number of shoots possessed of its qualities. So too, that which has come forth out of God is once God and the Son of God. The two are one. In this way also, he is spirit of spirit and God of God. He is made a second in manner of existence, in position, not in nature. So in position, not in nature. Tertullian was a Trinitarian. He was not a subordinationist. Did he? Truth Seeker, did you hear that?
Yeah. I heard it.
Okay.
But
so yeah, there's a bunch.
When you say in position, doesn't this subordinationism, because the point of subordinationism is making the Son a lesser God. Am I right?
That would be, yeah, ontological subordinationism. But notice he's not subordinate in nature, only in position. So it's like, if I had a boss, we would have the same human nature, even though I would take a role of subordinationism in terms of position, but not in terms of ontology, nature, essence, these kinds of things.
Okay. But, oh my God. This makes me want to raise another question, but hey, let's stick to our first question, which is, when you say your boss, you have already make a comparison with someone who is higher than you. If you say the Father is the boss of the Son, this is clearly a lesser God.
Why?
How? Why?
Well, because do you think if I was your boss, would you be less human than me?
Not less human, but I would have less power than you.
Well, no, hold on. Power in terms of what?
In terms, you can fire me. You can basically give me a lot of tasks.
So in terms of role, but not ontology or essence or nature.
Okay. It's not easy.
It doesn't follow. Just because the Son submits to the Father, the Son and Spirit submit to the Father, that doesn't mean they're less God. They're still completely God. They're truly God. But they just they allow the Father to have the leading role because the Father is the source.
Oh, okay. Can I move on to the next question?
Sure.
Doesn't that make us have three gods here?
How so?
Because we are having three persons. I'm going to call it person. And there's two of them who submits to a one. There's not there's not a unity in the identity itself. Each one has its own distinct identity, just like you and me. Well, just like you and me and Cyberpunk Dingo. We are here three of us here in the live. Maybe you are sharing a human nature, just like the Christian Trinity. They are all sharing the God nature, but at the end of the day, they're three gods, just like us. Three humans.
There's different individual instantiations of humans, but there's only one of the divine. So if the divine is three persons, you're still going to have one God because there's no different individual instantiations.
I didn't understand this. Can you?
Understand? There's three persons here. So there's three beings because the human nature, there's different instantiations of that. So you're a person, I'm a person, We all share a human nature, but there's different instantiations. With the divine, there's no separate instantiations because there can only be one divine. So therefore,
I don't know what does
there-
the word instantiation mean. English is not my first language.
Okay, let me get you the exact definition so that I'm not butchering it when I try to explain it, because sometimes. Okay, so it's basically something that represents or is an example of something else, or the act of producing something like it. So the best way I can explain this is like you have different separate beings when it comes to humans who can all have a similar nature going through. But with the divine, you can't have that. And let me explain why. The God is omnipotent. If there was two beings that were omnipotent, that wouldn't make any sense, because there can only be one being that is omnipotent, that is all powerful. So the divine cannot have different instantiations, i.e. different beings, because it wouldn't logically follow with the nature the divine has.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna search more about this, particularly the Against Heresies book. Can you? You said New Advent, right?
Yeah, New Advent Against. I want to just show you. So if you just let me put up my screen here for you. So I just typed in New Advent Against Heresies, and notice the first one that comes up is Saint Irenaeus, and then it's all right there on newadvent.org. You can just read it quite clearly. Book 1, chapter 1, and it's not written some old English or something like that. It's pretty simple.
Come on. Wait a
He dropped again. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's good he left Islam. There's another ex-Muslim. It's always good to hear that kind of stuff.
I don't know which country he's from. Might not be as easy to leave, depending on where in the Arab world he is.
Yeah. Truth Seeker, I see you in the private chat saying, let me up again. I would love to, but it says devices not connected. So you need to connect some sort of device so we can talk to you. There you go. You there now?
Can you hear me? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You know, in the Arab world, the internet connection is horrible.
Yeah, no problem. We get it.
Okay. Almost forgot my goddamn. Okay. I want to ask you a question. It's a little bit more political. Okay.
Okay.
Why do you defend secularism? Isn't this the same weapon the Muslim used to infiltrate the West?
I don't defend secularism. I vehemently oppose it. I've argued that we need a Christian society. Secularism is problematic for a lot of reasons.
No. You're not. There's two definitions to secularism. Secularism on the populist level, the people, and secularism on the governmental level, the people who are in charge. You get me?
I see. So yeah, so it's a government institution.
The people in charge. Yeah. Like, I think the First Amendment, not the First Amendment. In your Constitution, guys, there's not any mention of Christianity. Isn't this a horrible thing? What do you think?
So I did a couple of videos last year called How Christianity Created Human Rights, How Christianity Ended Slavery, How Christianity gave rise to science. Did these videos last year. I think, for example, the separation of church and state came out of the Christian worldview and was actually a good thing for a number of reasons. Here's the thing when it comes to that I push back on. When you have governments trying to shut down freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, people then do not explore new ideas like they would in a free society because they're worried the government is going to come after them in certain ways. When the Protestant Reformation opened up this idea and started pushing more separation of church and state, more freedom of religion, freedom of speech, yes, you had people come out and say, well, I'm an atheist, like, David Hume, for example. But then Christians engaged with David Hume, and then they worked on ideas, and they came back, and then they had a more robust understanding of Christianity. I'm not worried about Christianity against truth or being challenged because I believe it is true. I know it is true. So come at me with any sort of argument. We're fine. We can take it. And when we have an open society, the best ideas will bubble to the top. It's like a capitalism, but for ideas. And so the best ideas will come to the top over time. We're seeing this in real time right now. Like Candace Owen is pushing absolute nonsense, and she's now she's being exposed. 20 years ago, there were 9/11 truthers and they were being exposed. I mean, like the best ideas tend to bubble to the top over time. And that helps progress. That helps create more technologies. That creates more critical thinking skills. These are good things we want in society, even if there are some negatives that come along with it.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, last question. Is the time you open your lives fixed time? Like every Thursday, a certain hour?
Every Thursday, I do them at 3 p.m. Eastern. I tend to do. Sometimes if I'm traveling, I may do them at different times during the day. But I tend to try to do 3 Eastern. Is when I do these. Yeah, on Thursdays.
Okay, good. Last question. Okay, last question.
Okay.
Why should I? Even if I found Christianity a logical religion, and I found Christianity as good for society, which I really do. I actually think I can see me. I have eyes. I have eyes in my head, and I can see what Muslims do, and I can see what Christians do. Even if I say that is positive for the society, what is the reason that, or what is the evidence that would make me, fully believe it?
The evidence we use is called.
I don't know if you understand the question or not.
Oh yeah, I've answered this a lot. Yeah, I'm more than happy to talk about this. The evidence we use is called the resurrection argument. So take, for example, Islam. Islam is based on Muhammad getting private revelations and trust me, bro mentality, as I'm sure you know. It's different in Christianity.
Yeah.
In Christianity, Jesus was publicly executed on a cross, buried in a tomb that was publicly known, and then he publicly rose, leaving behind an empty tomb that people could check, and he appeared to multiple eyewitnesses. So here's what scholars wrestle with. This is a conundrum in history. Jesus was crucified in 33 AD. Shortly after, the disciples are proclaiming Jesus resurrected. How do you get from that to there? Now, we have to go back to the cultural context first. No messianic movement ever claimed their Messiah died and rose.
Again. How do you get from what to what?
How do you get from Jesus being executed to the disciples proclaiming Jesus resurrected?
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. So you have to understand a little bit about the culture, though. No messianic movement of the time ever claimed their Messiah figure died and rose, and that proved they were the Messiah. And we know of several, like Judas the Galilean, Simon of Perea, Theudas, the Egyptian prophet, Simon Bar Giora, Simon Bar Kochba. When those messianic figures died, they got themselves a new figure to follow. Only the Christians said Jesus resurrected, and that proved he was the Messiah. This is an incredibly unique idea in the history of mankind because it doesn't come out of the cultural background. So the question historians wrestle with is, how do you go from Jesus being executed to the disciples proclaiming he rose from the dead, and that proves he's God, that proves he's the Messiah? And so, for example, I have this book here. Let me find it. I have Mike Lacona's book. It's called The Resurrection of Jesus. It's a 700-page book.
Okay.
Going over all the evidence that Jesus actually did rise from the dead. Very big book because there's a ton of evidence that points to Jesus actually rising from the dead. And that's the best explanation of the data we have in the first century. So, for example, let me put this back up here. So, for example,
even the book, because I will read it.
It's called The Resurrection of Jesus, a new historiographical approach by Michael Lacona.
Okay. I recorded this.
Good. So, I mean, like, the big conundrum, like even Paula Fredrickson, who's a Jew, she says the disciples saw something. They had to have witnessed something. Something convinced them that Jesus really did rise from the dead. The problem is that when you go into research on like hallucinations, like this book here, here's another great book. I've had this author on. His name is Nick Meter. He was an atheist. He's a psychologist, and he became a Christian later in his life and then wrote this book, Resurrection, Extraordinary Evidence, for an extraordinary claim, basically arguing that there's enough evidence that Jesus really did rise from the dead. And he has surveyed all the data on hallucinations and visions, and none of them people come away reporting that they actually think someone rose from the dead. So the idea that the disciples had to see something, but there's no reason to think they saw a hallucination.
Why is there no reason to think that this has hallucination?
Because as he goes through and surveys all this data, when people have hallucinations, they tend to think they saw a ghost, or they think they actually had an hallucination. They never think they saw a physical body. So you wouldn't, if the disciples hallucinated after Jesus died, they wouldn't conclude resurrection. It doesn't logically follow from the available data that we have in psychology.
Okay, nice. Okay. Okay. Is it all in the Nick Meter?
Nick Meter, yeah.
The name of the book?
Resurrection,
Nick
Extraordinary
Meter,
Evidence for an
okay.
Extraordinary Claim.
Okay, since I will not wrap this up in a single call, do you have a videos you have made about this topic? I'm gonna watch them. Do you?
Yes, I do. I have a whole series on the resurrection I can pull up for you. If you go to my channel, you go to the playlist section. Here, I'll just show you here. So if you go to my channel, in the playlist section, we have a series on the reliability of the Gospels. So we have a ton of evidence there, as you can see that. And then we have a series down here called The Resurrection of Jesus. And it's all the videos arguing for the resurrection.
Okay, thank you so much. This won't be our last call. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Mike.
Excellent. I hope to hear from you. Thanks for
Okay,
coming on. We'll
goodbye.
pray for you. Thanks. Awesome. Well,
Excellent. Very interesting conversation there.
I know. I typically wouldn't have. I would have told him like, well, we're only talking to Muslims, but he's obviously an ex-Muslim seeker, and I'm always willing to help people like that come to find the truth.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear. So excellent. All right. Let me do some quick super chats here. Then we'll bring up our next guest, Isa. Will you respond to Paulo G again? Yes, we will, because the video was awful. And I'm annoyed that I asked for a debate and he said he doesn't want to debate, which is very weird. Why would you not want to have a conversation? Jealous that Mike gets to talk to Dingo and I don't. Love your stuff, Dingo.
Thank you.
Do you want me to call you Cyberpunk or Dingo?
Oh, everyone calls me Dingo.
All right. I'll call you Dingo, which I feel like that's like an insult in American English, but I don't think it is in British or in Australian English. I don't know. When did Bane on the right convert to Christianity? It's a good question. It's a good question. When Batman kicked the crap out of him and then he saw the
That's
light, literally. Getting some more shekels here. But Mike, if Christianity is true, why aren't you able to sleep with 30 men and get the strength to be superior to the tougher? Ha! Checkmate! This is true. I didn't think
Got
of it like that.
superpowers.
Yeah. I'll never forget the day. Like I told David Wood that this weird cultural belief that people actually thought that if they did that to younger men and boys, they would actually get the strength. It's like his eyes lit up. He's like, oh my goodness, I know what to do now. Very weird cultural belief that was in Asia. Good resources of argument to use with close relatives who are inclined to Spinoza's God. William Lane Craig. Check out Philosophical Foundations for a Christian Worldview. Susie wants to quack for duck lips. That's very, we appreciate that. No one ever quacks for duck lips. We appreciate that. Here's a thank you for the generous super chat. Hi, IP and Dingo. IP, any recommendations that explain the Trinity, specifically understanding how three persons make one God? I'm a Trinitarian Christian, just needing some more clarity. Yeah, Joshua Sijiwadi's aspectival model. I think I pronounced that right. Check out his paper on that, Dr. Joshua Sijiwadi. All right, let's bring up Isa. Are you there?
Yes, brothers. How you doing?
How you doing? Are you Muslim?
Good.
Yes, brother. I'm Muslim. Can you hear
All
my
right.
voice properly?
I can hear you. Yep. I'm here with Dingo here. He's an ex-Muslim.
Oh, thank you very much for allowing me to talk to you guys. I'm from South Africa, first of all. So I'm an ex-Christian.
Okay.
Yeah, I converted to Islam about maybe 10 or 12 years ago, so I've been a Muslim for quite some time. I was just tempted to just join you guys. I saw the live chats. I've been watching YouTube for the past hour now, and I see all these live programs, so I decided to join you. I love to defend my religion,
Okay.
against apologists like you. And with all due respect, though, so I hope we can have a respectful interaction. And
Sure.
I have a couple of questions for you, brothers. And first of all, brother, why are you hiding your face? Or is that just
I'm wearing my hijab.
all right, I'll give you that. That's funny. Okay, so I'm an ex-Christian man, and I used to watch the debates between Muslims and Christians, and I was fascinated by that, and that's what led me to convert to Islam. So I was not persuaded by the Christians, but rather the Muslims. In fact, I used to be a Roman Catholic. Then I watched the debates, the Ahmed Deedats, the Dr. Zakir Naiks, and honestly, Christianity is not compelling at all. And the Muslims are doing a great job, but nowadays, the Christians have really studied the Muslim scriptures, and they seem to know a lot about, Islam or so-called Islam. And first, I have to clarify my position. I'm not a Sunni Muslim. I used to be a Sunni Muslim. Then I converted to Shia Islam. So I wonder if you brothers know anything about Shia Islam. But not like the Iranian regime, because they don't follow the true Shia Islam. They persecute the scholars there. They're an evil regime. So I think perhaps we might agree on that. I don't know what your position is on
Are
politics.
you an Ismaili?
No, I'm a 12er Shia,
Oh, 12er. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a 12er Shia. I know about the other Shia sects, and not all Shias are correct, right? And I'd love to share hadith with you brothers first.
Well, I mean, it's very interesting because Dingo here he left Islam like 10 or 12 years ago, and you became a Muslim like 10 or 12 years ago. So it's an interesting little contrast here. What do you do with like some of the stuff we were talking about earlier? I don't know if you were here for that, but like Surah 65:4 in the Quran allows for you to marry and divorce prepubescent girls.
So I don't believe that. The word girls is not used in that the surah. So, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna pretend as if I'm a Muslim scholar. So I wanted to ask you guys, why do you choose to debate with lay people instead of actual religious scholars that have a ground understanding in Islam? But anyway, we can talk, right? But
I want to answer that. I want to answer that because
okay, go ahead, bro. I'm here to learn. I'm not sure to try.
I've offered dozens of scholars, Muslim scholars, to debate me. I either get ghosted or told flat out no.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know any Shia scholars?
Shia, no.
I can make
a fair no.
Okay, thanks for the honesty. I can make a recommendation for you. Because
there's one I've tried to debate. He's on X a lot. He's a Harvard scholar. I have messaged him trying to get that debate going.
Okay, most of these scholars are they don't know Islam. There's only one true version of Islam, and I don't blame Christians for not liking Islam, because most of this Islam out here is a fake version of Islam, and it's evil. And actually, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and his purified family, said on resurrection day, on judgment day rather, there'd be 73 groups of Muslims, and only one will enter paradise, and all of them will go to hell. All these groups will go to hell except for just one. Yeah. So if you tell me that most Muslims are bad, then you agree with Prophet Muhammad. You're actually not wrong about that. So the way they've presented Islam to the world is evil.
My argument, though, is not that that's like our argument we were talking about earlier is like, again, the reason why we say Islam is evil is because it does sanction and allow child marriage. That's one of the many reasons.
No, in Shia Islam,
so we can't use.
So I'm a Shia. So those are not my hadith.
Right. We're not using the hadith. We agree we can't use the Sunnah against you, but that's why I go to the Quran, Surah 65:4.
Yeah, and I would say about that, but I'm not going to pretend as if I know it in detail, but I could almost be sure that the word girl is not used there. You see, the
Well,
word woman is used there. You
Am I
see,
mistaken?
but I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I'm not
Go.
okay. I wanted to ask you a question,
Hold
though, my
on,
brother.
real quick. Dingo had a
Okay, go
question for
ahead.
you.
Yeah,
Right.
I actually, obviously, I was a Sunni Muslim, so I'm not too well versed in Shia Islam either. Having said that, I could have
You should do
sworn
your
in the
research.
Shia Hadith. Well, I feel like once you leave Islam, you leave Islam. I'm pretty sure in
And
the Shia
apostasy is
Hadith.
not allowed, by the way.
Hold
Apostasy,
on,
Islam. Okay, go ahead. Sorry to
hang on.
interrupt, brother.
I'm pretty sure Aisha's age was given as 10 years old, roughly. They do give an age for Aisha, which was around 10. I mean, not still what I wouldn't consider a fully grown woman. I feel like if we even go by Shia sources, and if we look at that number, and Muhammad was still in his 50s, mid 50s actually,
Yeah.
I still think we're not really that far from the argument that we make against Sunni Islam or
Okay, fair
Bukhari, for
enough.
example.
May I respond?
Yes, of course.
Well, first of all, I don't know if there's a hadith that says she was 10 years old. But in Shia Islam, we regard Aisha as a liar. So she lied a lot about Prophet Muhammad. Actually, the Quran condemns it to hellfire in the Holy Quran. Probably you don't know that. She's compared to the wife of Lot, who's going to go to hell. So if you listen to the Shia scholars, their interpretation, which makes more sense, says that, right? So she was not a trustworthy person. But interestingly, Aisha was an interesting individual. She pretended as if she was in a position of being oppressed by Prophet Muhammad, but at the same time, when Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, married other women, she became jealous, and she actually wanted him for herself. You see, I did take a picture of that hadith. 1 second, I'll give you a chance,
Well,
my
hold
bro.
up. This is a Shia book.
Right. So I won't pretend as if I'm well versed in
Well, let me
Shia
read it
books.
then.
So
Do
what do you want to
consummate
tell
the
me?
marriage. Do not consummate the marriage with your female SLAV until she reaches the age of 9 or 10. It's kind of disgusting and evil.
All right. So let's try to be respectful to each other. I don't know that, right? So I'll have to verify with the scholars if this is authentic, if these are the books that we believe in. But I was more interested in asking you about your faith as well. But let me try to respond to that, bruh. You see, I want to ask you though, do you by any chance know the youngest female to get pregnant? Not in the United States. First, I thought it was in the United States, but it was actually in Peru.
5.
You don't know? 5 years
She was
old?
5. Yes.
So if a female can get pregnant at 5, so let me ask you:
Hold up.
before I hold up,
saying-
I wanted to ask you: do you believe that science is the truth, or what? So do we go with our emotions, or do we go with science?
Science.
Do you agree? Science. So if it's possible for a 5-year-old to get pregnant, which is scientific and something that is recorded in medical records. So 9-year-old girl, 10-year-old girl, I don't know about that. First, I can't confirm that. I'll have to ask the Shia scholars about that. Look,
what are you
so
asking
you can
about
lay
the
all
5-year-old?
I'm just because you're trying to make it seem like it's not a scientifically possible thing. So
That's not what I would argue.
5-year-old can, I don't want to use crude language, but she can get aroused and feel like having sexual relations with a male.
Okay. Let's be
Right,
careful
right,
with our
right, right.
terms. Because I don't want to get this taken down. So let's be careful with terms.
To be
we're
aroused
using.
is not very it's not crude at all. I could have used harsher language.
I know. I'm just the
But
TikTok
now-
is very
but now
sensitive. Is
let-
all I'm
let-
saying.
Nah, I don't think aroused would be that word.
Okay, let's
But-
just. Are
but-
you saying though?
Okay, but you get
just
my
because-
point,
hold
though.
up. No, I don't. No, I
Mhm.
don't. And let me just say. All right, I don't know if you want to jump in, El Dingo. Jump in whenever you want.
Sure.
Here's the question I have. Okay, sometimes medical anomalies happen. That doesn't make that 5-year-old an adult. They're not mentally or physically mature. That's not an adult. That doesn't justify engaging in those kinds of acts with them. This is just bad stuff that
You
happens.
said I can jump in whenever I want. So why didn't Aisha object to this marriage, or why didn't she get divorced to Prophet Muhammad if she felt like she's in a position of being oppressed?
She was a
So
child.
Yeah, like you said.
She was what? Look,
She was a child.
it
to begin
seemed
with.
as if it seems as if she had no problem with it, because I can show you. I took a picture of the hadith where the
Her father had a
revelation.
problem with it.
May I please finish, my brothers?
Yes, of course.
So there's a revelation that came in the Quran, giving Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, permission to not go and visit one wife and rather visit the other wife. And then Aisha became jealous, and she was asked, "How do you feel about this revelation?" And she said, "Look, if it were up to me, I would just choose the Prophet for myself. I would not allow him to go to the other women." So that's rather strange that she is jealous of these other women, yet on the other hand, she feels like she's oppressed. So that's what I could say to
No,
you.
that's not. Hold up.
And
Hold up, Isa.
and by what
Isa.
standards are we following? So now we have.
Isa. Hold up. Before we
Sure,
do,
go ahead.
let's address that point there. Okay. You
Yeah.
hear what Dingo said? Dingo said like she was a child. Okay. This is not somebody who has full awareness of what's going on, and her culture is constantly reinforcing that Muhammad is this great and wonderful guy. He's all around a wonderful guy. Everything he wants is from God. So this is cult-like activity. Of course she's going to go along with it, even though it's just not a good thing. And the biggest
I
problem,
disagree
once
with
again,
you.
is this is setting a bad example. The Quran says Muhammad is your pattern of conduct, Surah 33:21. Surah 4 says you can
Yeah,
submit
he
to
is.
all of his decisions. So you have to not only agree what happened was a good thing, that other Muslim men can do this as well, which is evil.
In according to you, it's evil. You see, because now it seems like you follow secular laws, right, which have determined the age of consent to be 18. But was it always
How about I show you the
18?
Bible?
And you're an American in the
You want
States,
me to show you
right?
in the Bible?
Hold on, before we get to the Bible, because I'm really interested in getting to the Bible. There's some things I would like to show you from your Bible as well, because you want to review Muslim scripture. I was wondering if we could review Christian scripture as well.
Hold up.
And
hold up.
yeah.
You accuse me of saying I'm just going off secular laws, but I can show you in the Bible where the age of lovemaking comes after maturity.
Okay, fair enough, man. Yeah, cool. That's your Bible. That's your standard, right? For your life. And Muslims have a different standard, you see. But I'm just trying to explain this in a scientific way, because you see, you're trying to make it seem like it's not scientifically possible for this to happen.
That's not the argument. The argument is not that it's.
That's not the argument.
We're not arguing that it's scientifically impossible for a girl to get pregnant very, very young, as we know with the 5-year-old example. We are saying it
But
is
not even
ethically wrong.
a child.
We're saying
May I
it's
jump in very
immoral.
quickly? I
You
apologize
shouldn't
for
do
that.
this. Listen, scientifically.
You see, you've set standards for what is immoral. You see, you say now the Bible is your criterion, right?
Yeah, the Bible, it gives us morality. Yeah.
Right. So now, okay, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. So if something wrong is being done to them, can't they object to that? Like, okay, Daddy, why are you beating me? Can't you say that? Okay, this is not good for me. And by the way,
a 6-year-old cannot consent.
Hold on.
cannot consent.
But according to the Sunni Hadith, so I still don't accept that the age is 10, because I feel like that's in the Sunni tradition, right? I don't know if my Hadith say that, but even if it did, it can be defended. It can be defended whether you like it or not, because you're going with emotions rather than science. Oh yeah, sure. Could you make the screen larger? Okay. Anyway, we'll get to that, but let me say what I want to say first.
You said you could defend this. Defend it.
What does it say? I can't. I'm using my cell phone camera, brother.
Do not consummate the marriage with your female SLAVE until she reaches the age of 9 or 10. So when she reaches the age of 9 or 10, you can consummate a marriage to that young girl.
Right. Look, when she gets her periods, right, she can make that decision if she wants to. Nobody forces the girl to do that.
Hold up. You're telling me if a girl
You're
gets her
getting
period,
shocked,
she's
right?
an adult.
But it's not shocking to me. For some reason, it's shocking to you because
Yeah.
you've been conditioned to believe this. Well, it surprised me at first, but when you think about it objectively, putting your emotions aside, it's not wrong. You see,
It's not.
especially if no,
So,
of course it's not.
hang
It's
on,
not. It's
Asa.
not to
Would
me.
you?
It's not to me,
Yeah,
brothers.
go ahead,
You may
Dingo.
you
Go
may
ahead.
dislike
Hold
it, right? But look, don't we have freedom of choice in life? Let's say a
Okay,
Dingo,
girl
what were you
reaches.
going to say?
Let me speak, my brothers.
Hold on.
We
No,
have.
No.
Yeah,
Dingo
go
wanted
ahead.
to say
Go ahead.
something.
Like-
He's not said much. Let him
Go
know.
ahead.
Yeah, the question then would be, okay, you're making this
Mhm.
argument. Would you say you've said, this is science, and we have made that argument that child marriage is wrong. Jeffrey Epstein, would you say what he did was wrong?
Yeah, it is wrong. It is wrong according
Oh.
to the society's standards now, because there's
Also,
laws. And
scientifically,
so as a Christian,
it's correct.
these are man-made laws. These are man-made laws, and the governments don't agree. They don't all agree on the age of consent. In some countries, it's 14. In
That's not
some
what he
countries,
asked you.
16.
That's not what he asked you. He did not
But,
ask you
yeah.
what governments have
Mhm.
set. Go ahead, Dingo. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't asking
Yeah,
about
go
because
ahead.
you made the argument that we're not talking about the
Yeah.
standards that society sets. You said we have set the standard that child marriage is wrong, but I'm saying, according to you,
Yeah,
if
you
that
have.
5-year-old could get pregnant, what Jeffrey Epstein did, and remember, his youngest victim was 5 years older than Aisha. So, is that wrong? All his victims who were 15, 16 years old, is that wrong?
According to secular law, it's wrong.
According to you, it's not wrong, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I
How
can't
did-
say. I really don't know. Look, I'm from South Africa. I'm also from the West. So, I still have that little prejudice in me. But now I have to put that aside. You see, I was not born in a Muslim country. And I'm trying to be fair to the Sunni Muslims, because like I said, in my religion, I don't know if this is really true. I'll have to verify that. I can't even see this text properly. I don't know my own Shia hadiths, and that's not my specialty. My specialty is the Bible, and I wanted just to get to that, right? I wanted to show you some things in your Bible, but I actually looked into the situation a little bit, and I feel like the Christian brothers are not fair. I know that they're conditioned, just like I was conditioned, because I'm from a Western country. South Africa is a Western country, So we have these beliefs. 18 years old, even when we watch the movies, they set the age, right? There'll be SNL, right? Don't watch it if you're not 18. So we're conditioned like that. But now those are man-made laws, right?
Let
And
me show
man-made
you
laws
some
don't always agree with science. No, they don't. If a 5-year-old
Look at
can
this.
get pregnant, I mean,
What is this?
you
This is a study.
you really have to put your emotions aside for the sake of truth.
I am. I'm looking at a
science is
study.
truth. And
I-
I wanted
I
to
think
say
you-
something. Okay. Can I say
I think
something?
you need to put your it's my turn to talk now. I think you need to put your emotions aside. You keep bringing up science. Here's a scientific study. Overlooked and unaddressed, a narrative review of mental health consequences of child marriage. This goes through numerous problems. Right down here. Depression was the most reported mental disorder. Anxiety, phobias, psychological distress, substance misuse, negative well-being, antisocial personality disorder were reported less frequently.
Yeah, what. Yeah, I
Participants
understand.
from
but
both
now-
studies were noted
if-
to be living with
I can
obstetric
agree
fistulas
to-
following
yeah.
childbirth. Look at this
Look,
stuff
brother.
that happens to child brides. You're telling me this is all about
No, hey,
emotion?
look.
No, we can see the harmful
If
effects
you are-
right in front of our faces. Tell me this is
Allow
good.
me to speak. Don't get hyped up, Brian. Hold on a second.
Oh, I get
Look.
hyped up when children are being threatened and harmed.
Wait a second. It's about truth. It's not about emotions, right? And science is truth. This can only apply if these girls are forced. And in Pakistan and these Muslim countries,
Right.
No.
I'm done. My
God.
good Lord, this is evil, man. This is freaking evil.
I
Just making
yeah.
stuff up.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen someone be like, oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, that's all good because and you can tell, and this is the problem, isn't it? You can tell a lot of these people, like there's a level of evil where you don't even stop to think about what am I even saying here? like I am defending some of the worst crimes possible. It just doesn't stop.
Nope. It's like, and he wasn't even making sense. He's like, okay, is it wrong? Well, according to some, countries it is, and what is. We're not asking what the laws and countries are. We're asking, is this objectively wrong? And you can just go straight to the Shia Hadith. They agree that you can do this stuff. Like the Shia don't escape this.
Yeah, and I feel like he perhaps initially he said he perhaps doesn't believe what the Ayatollah Khomeini, for example, said. I feel like probably I'm actually doubting that now, because Khomeini, I don't know if you know, but in his writings he did say there is essentially no age of consent. You can even marry babies, and he explicitly wrote about the act itself with infants. That's how sick they are.
Yeah, this is messed up stuff. And like, again, you can just show how evil this stuff is. By the way, for those interested, I want to just show you in the Bible about when it comes to this, because I brought this up and he didn't want me to go. Just go to Ezekiel 16. So God basically says, he's talking about Jerusalem and being his wife. And when I passed by again, behold, you were at the age for love. So notice in the prior verse, he talks about her being fully matured, as in fully formed, fully grown hair. Then God passes by again. Then you're at the age for love. So according to God, the age for lovemaking occurs after maturity is complete. When is that completed in girls? 15 to 17. That's why we assign maturity to the age of 18. It just is the next age right after there that would make total sense biologically. So yeah, the Bible is not in favor of child marriage. It says you have to be fully mature before you're at the age for any sort of consummation to take place. So yeah, hey, I want to tell you, what a coward, says Phil. I don't remember which one he was referring to. Oh, look, a Muslim's proof Islam isn't evil is call for murder. Yes.
That must have been from that other guy.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
This is Islam.
I love how he kept on saying, "Oh, but I don't hate you, but you should die."
This is the same guy that crashed out on God Lodge's stream and I think inspired the Don't Cry Habibi song. Yeah, I think now that I think about it, his voice did sound familiar. That makes sense. That was the guy telling you that you should be executed.
Yeah.
And they're saying he was pure evil. Yes, thank you. Thanks to my Christian brothers and sisters for not betraying and killing your fellow man. The bar is in hell. Yes, this is true. I was just in London and I was debating an atheist there, and we were talking about like the difference between secularism and Christianity. And I said, listen, one of the reasons I don't want Islam in the West is because I don't want gay people thrown off rooftops. I want to protect the image of God. Like, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but they are still the image of God and they should have freedom of expression, religion, speech, and be protected as the image of God. This is the difference.
Yeah, I mean, recently go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think recently I've said this on my streams and videos as well a lot, because I feel like the more I think about it, I think Islam probably should not have, I guess, be considered within the realm of what we say is freedom of religion, because they don't allow people to leave. Mm-hmm. If you leave, and even in the West, there's no death penalty, but their community, like you get your social death, and we have seen enough examples of honor killings and families taking people's lives just because they left, and it is not easy to leave. So, in my opinion, I don't know. I think the vast majority, if not almost every country that executes people for blasphemy and apostasy today is Islamic, and I find it very hard to be like, oh yeah, we should consider it in the same category as other religions when it comes to freedom of religion, because you don't allow people to leave. And as we saw with that guy before, he couldn't even go ahead and say, what Epstein did. We're not even talking about Muhammad. He couldn't do it with Muhammad, couldn't do it with Epstein, like, this is what it does to people. And yeah, I guess what happens when there's enough people like this with voting rights, that's just society goes backwards.
It does, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's insane. It's one of the reasons we got to oppose it. Thank you for the $50 super chat. This is my first stream. I'm wondering if I could send you an email and have you read it live. Just wanted to encourage you and don't have nearly characters to do. Either way, take my jizya. God bless, brother and Mike. Yeah, go ahead and send it to mike@inspiringphilosophy.com. I will try to pull it up if you send it. And I will try to read it here. Let me see here. Let me pull my email up because I got it on here. So if you send it to michael@inspiringphilosophy.com, I can read it. So michael@inspiringphilosophy.com. And I'll do it because you gave such a generous super chat. So thank you so much. And then thank you for all the shekels people are sending in. Ton of shekels coming in from Israel. We always appreciate all the shekels. So Chaos Apologetics, are you a Muslim or are you a Christian?
I'm actually a Christian, but I was wondering if I could share one of my own arguments against Islam.
Not right now. Come up another day. We were going to. We have a ton of people in the queue. Sword, are you there?
Hello there. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Are you? Or where are you at? You've been coming up a lot. Are you? What are your religious beliefs?
I'm a little bit skeptical because, in respect of the Quran, I must say I'm not a Muslim, but I do believe in the Quran. Sometimes, generally speaking, but I don't have the same premises as the Christians and Muslims that the religion has to be perfect for it to be completely true. I don't have that premise. I believe that every religion has some kind of truth in it, but not entirely, because I have like the real theology, the more realistic, objective theology, other than religions which has human elements.
Well, we're here with Cyberpunk Dingo. He's an ex-Muslim. So what do you still like about the Quran?
There are some golden verses, like God doesn't overburden you on your capacity. Verses like there's a lot of verses, but I didn't write them down. I like the little bit theology. The theology is also a little bit human, but it's also restrictive to other religions. So it's not worse than the other religions, but it's a little bit better.
What other Muslims consider you a Muslim? Sword?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. So yep. So this stream is about morality, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here a lot for the morality of Islam. So shoot, why Islam is evil?
Should apostates be killed for leaving the religion?
Absolutely not.
All right. Then Islam is evil. You agree with us?
No, there is no apostasy. Oh, wait. You already think that Sunnism, the traditional Sunnism, it's already the truth form of Islam. Do you think that?
Well, I mean, it's in the Sunnah. Are you saying this is the Sunnah evil?
Absolutely. Oh, yes. That's what. That's why my point, because no one have an evidence that the traditional Sunnism is a solid or realistic that go in line with the Quran. They have a lot of stuff that contradicts the Quran, and a lot of reality.
But wouldn't the problem be if you accept the parts that you like in the Quran and reject the parts that you don't like? Don't you think it's a bit of a hard exercise for us?
I know. There is a verse that specifically, if these verses don't exist, I would still be a Muslim, still believe in the Quran. At some part, I would still call myself a Muslim that believes in the Quran. But because of these verses, I don't say that I'm a Muslim.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
you're on the right path.
Okay, I'm here, but I still defend the religion because I think there's a lot of good stuff in it, and it's being heavily misrepresented.
What about this verse, Surah 49? They wish you would disbelieve as they have disbelieved, so you may be alike, so they do not take them as allies unless they immigrate in the cause of Allah. But if they turn away, seize them and kill them.
ودوا لو تكفرون كما كفروا فتكونوا سواء فلا تتخذوا منهم أولياء حتى يهاجروا في سبيل الله فإن تولوا فأخذوهم واقتلوهم حيث وجدتم لا تأخذوا منهم. This is in a war context. I think this is about the. Wait a second. I have. In what verse is this?
489 on Nisa.
Nisa 481.
Nisa, yeah.
Four.
Sorry, my mistake.
I don't know why it's called N. It's L, really.
Oh, I don't know.
يطلع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حفيظا وطاعا من كبير الطاف مثل الذين يقيل لهم كفروا يقوم الصلاة والقتال فرق من يخشون الناس خشية الله وخشية خشية قدر ربنا كتب لنا القتال عن قدر الجن. I think this is with the Quraysh tribe. وما لكم لا تقاتلون في سبيل الله مستضعفين. Yeah, this is the war context about the Quraysh tribe. We always wanted to kill them, really.
But doesn't it talk about killing people that disbelieve? They turn away from the cause of Allah.
No. What is it?
Well, it says if they join the cause of Allah, which is Islam, they turn away from that.
ودوا لو تكفرون كما كفروا فتكونون سواء فلا تتخذوا منهم أولياء.
Must be one of the verses.
Yeah, it talks about the ones who want you to disbelieve كما كفروا فتكونون سواء. فلا تتخذ منهم أولياء. So it speaks to them, don't not make them as bosses or some handy with them حتى يهاجروا unless they migrate in the cause of Allah. فإن تولوا فخذوهم واقتلوهم. If they got back, if they didn't agree, خذوهم وقاتلوهم. Oh, it doesn't say kill them, it does say fight them. وقاتلوهم. لا, it does say kill them. حيث وجدتموهم ولا تتخذوا منهم وليا ولا نصيرا. Oh, this speaks about apostasy.
Well, I mean, what is the cause of Allah? According to the Quran, it'd be Islam. And if they turn away from that, you're supposed to seize them and kill them. So it does sanction the killing of apostates.
No, حتى يهاجروا في سبيل الله. It's that, it says يهاجروا. The meaning is to migrate. It's not to apostate. Apostate is different in the Quran. Apostate is... there's a verse where it says if they believed and they disbelieved and again they believed and they disbelieved, they have their fate in hell, but not to kill them.
Literally says kill them.
No, it's not about apostasy. It's about the already disbelievers. That's if they want.
But apostates are disbelievers, are they not?
No. The born disbelievers, not the apostates. It doesn't talk about the apostates. If they,
but sorry, it says if they turn away.
That's not the apostates. If they turn away, those are the وإذ ودوا لو تكفرون كما كفروا فتكونون سواء فلا تتخذ منهم أولياء حتى يهاجروا. It speaks about the already disbelievers, not the apostates at this moment. If فإن تولوا, if they إن تولوا, if they turned away, yeah, the disbelievers, the already disbelievers, they تولوا.
Okay. But are not apostates disbelievers?
No, yes, it's the apostates are disbelievers, but this one doesn't talk clearly about the apostate, because apostasy is clear in the Quran. You don't kill them; they're just faith to hell. In modern terms, if you go to one, what is the verse?
Well, would this be one of those verses that you reject, that you disregard?
Well, no, it's self-defense.
So you would keep this one?
You keep
Sounds a
this
bit
one.
Oh no,
violent.
yeah, because all the words in the Quran are in self-defense because they all wanted to kill Muhammad
But
for
that's just
changing the
oh,
society.
that's not true. Surah 929 is not self-defense.
929.
Yeah.
It is. Let's go there. So it's heavily misunderstood verse. What is it? 9.
Says, fight those who do not believe in Allah in the last day, nor comply with what Allah and his messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from among those who were given the scripture until they pay the jizya, willingly submitting, fully humbled. Does not
Yep.
mention self-defense.
No, let me get it. Oh, are you? قاتل الذين آمنوا بالله واليوم الآخر ولا يحرم ما حرم الله ورسوله ولا يدينون دين الحق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب. Yeah, so it doesn't talk about the Christians. It talks about the Jews, the أوتوا الكتاب, the people who have given the book are not Christians. They are strictly Jews, because in chapter 2. In chapter 2 verse 87, I think, or
Sword. The
7,
next
8.
verse includes Christians. It says, it tells you to make the Jews and Christians submit. And then it gives you the
No.
reason why. Because the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah.
No,
This
it
is the
doesn't
reason.
say what. No, it's disconnected. It doesn't say why. Because they killed them. Because there's no linguistic tools to say that. Because they said it doesn't work like that, especially in Arabic. But what I'm saying, it's the Ahl al-Kitab, the people of the book, or the one who given the book, are strictly Jews, not Christians. If you just go to chapter 2, verse chapter 2.
I mean, chapter 5 says the Christians have the gospel. That's a scripture.
Yeah, but
I know
that's not
chapter
book.
2 is about the Jews. I agree the Jews were given a book. But it also refers to that with the Christians.
Yeah, but it doesn't refer as for Jesus that he given a book.
Surah 5 says he was. Surah 5 says he was given the gospel.
Yeah, the gospel is not a physical book, as in the Torah is, because when it say in the context of Ahl al-Kitab, the people of the book, because it's just one book. The Quran doesn't say specify the Torah or the Injil is one book. It differentiates between the Torah and the Injil are two separate books.
It refers to the Torah. It refers to the Torah and the Gospel as books. Surah 7:157 says we can find the unlettered prophet when we read about him in the Torah and Gospel. So it's therefore a book.
It says the book. Yeah, but I'm not saying that the book, the Injil and the Quran are in the same, because it can differentiate. Because in the context, the book can mean the Quran. The book can mean the
right.
Torah,
The Gospel's a
can
book. It doesn't change anything.
It does when it's in Surah. Where is it? 287. Yeah,
I agree. Like there's a book there, but there's also it also says the
well,
Gospel's a book in Surah 7:157.
Yeah, indeed, we gave Moses the book and sent after him successive messengers. And we gave Jesus, son of Mary, clear proofs and supported him with the Holy Spirit. So here it's negate that Jesus has a book or came down a physical book. It says we gave Moses the book. So the people of the book, or the people who have given the book, are strictly Jews. And the verse says, not all Jews, among the Jews.
It says in Surah 7:157 that the Gospel is a book, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's just in the Quran.
What is it? 7?
157. 7:157.
7:157. 57. What is it?
While you find it, Sword, I find it very interesting that this verse.
Hold up. Go ahead, Dingo. Go ahead. Your turn.
Yeah, this verse about killing people and demanding the jizya, that's one of the more acceptable. You said you pick and choose. This one's one of the worst ones to accept and not disregard, I would think.
Yeah, because the jizya means a punishment. It's not a war tax or I give you protection for this tax. No, it's a tax strictly for Jews because they will in Surah 9, in chapter 9, verse 34. It talks about Jews ripping people off.
All right.
That's the context of the verse.
Hey, Sword, come back next week. We have a lot of guests we're going to get to. I appreciate you coming. It's not really going anywhere. Let's see here. I think Brad was next. Are you there, man? Brad? Traditional Muslim name, Brad. All right, I'm going to put you back down there until you figure out what's going on with yourself. Corrupted Bible, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, are you Muslim?
Name
Yes.
implies so.
Okay. I'm here with an ex-Muslim. Do you think he should be executed?
Uh, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Interesting.
Are you Sunni?
That's fine.
Yes.
Very kind of you to say.
It's very kind of you to say. Good to hear that. Your prophet wasn't that kind, though. So let me show you. So this is Sahih al-Bukhari 6922, and you see at the bottom, Allah's messenger said, whoever changes his Islamic religion, then unalive him.
So what about the Old Testament when it says kill whoever sacrifices to anyone other than the Lord must be destroyed?
We are Christians under the new covenant. Next question. Can you answer mine now?
So I don't think so. I might have any answer for that.
Okay,
Hey.
I respect that. Cyber, do you want to any
Okay,
topic
wait,
you want
wait.
to ask him about?
Before anything, can you tell me what is the theme? You know that.
The theme. We're arguing Islam is evil.
Okay.
Do you have any blasphemy laws where you live, Corrupted Bible?
Yes, there is one law, 295.
Okay.
Okay.
Section 295, according to which a person is killed if he says anything against Prophet Muhammad.
Like
Okay,
what? Like,
so
Go ahead.
Not against him, because you can do apostasy and stuff, but sort of disrespecting him or something.
I don't know what that means.
You can read the Pakistan Penal Code 295, Section 295, but that's not our subject for today.
Okay. Do you think Islam is actually good for the world?
Not maybe 50-50, I can say.
Oh, interesting.
And you're a Muslim?
Yes.
So
That penal code that you mentioned just then, hopefully you don't reveal who you are. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
What is
The background.
what is in the background? Are you like getting a haircut or something?
My PC is completely, messed up. ThinkPad stuff.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Never mind. Can we change the topic to anything else? I don't have any knowledge about Islam evil and stuff.
Well, then why are you a Muslim if you have no knowledge about Islam? I think that's important to ask.
I mean, yeah, you are supposed to have knowledge about Islam, but not as much in the depth. There are so many books, so many hadiths. I haven't even read the entire Quran's translation.
Well, Dingo here has read a lot about Islam, and he left Islam the more he read about it.
Perhaps you should as
I
well.
want to ask, what was your major reason to leave Islam?
There was a bunch of them.
The biggest.
I think Muhammad's character perhaps was a big one. I saw what Islam's teaching does to society, to people around me, to women.
So, what specifically about the character of Prophet Muhammad?
Well, we can start with many things. I mean, we did mention apostasy in the Sunnah, as you just saw, calling for the execution of apostates. But we can talk about things like the marriage to Aisha, for example.
Do you know about
That's
that?
a big one.
No, okay, hear me out.
Here, let me read a hadith.
Aisha-
Here's a hadith. It says the Prophet, the narrator Aisha, the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old.
So
He
what is the
consummated his marriage when she was
biblical
9 years
criteria?
old.
So we're not
Yeah.
talking about.
So
We're not talking about that.
what
We're
is the
talking about.
biblical criteria? What's the biblical age for one to get married?
No, hang on, Corrupted Bible. You asked
Not
me
specifically.
why I left, and I said to you, Muhammad's moral character,
Yes.
and now you're responding with, what about the biblical? Well, that's if you're asking me,
Okay.
that had no bearing on my leaving.
This specific verse has, to me, 3 to 4 mistakes, type of contradictions. I do not consider this verse as much as acceptable as others could. One of the major reasons being that it was narrated by Aisha's nephew Hisham, who when went to Kufa and the civil war of Muslims had happened. Hisham went there and they were all talking bad about Aisha. So to sort of whitewash her image, Hisham made up sort of an hadith. He said that I narrated it from my uncle, although it is not much related to him. Second, the problem is that when Surah Al-Qamar, which is a surah of the Quran, was revealed, Aisha, which was supposedly being a toddler at that age, remembered exactly second by second of what happened. So a toddler doesn't sit there making memories and other stuff. And Aisha's age is perfectly, as I think, according Bible, probably because according to the Bible, one must be physically mature, and I don't think so. Aisha was mature. That's why they waited 3 years to consummate the marriage.
So hang on, do you believe this is true or not? Because it seems like that
Yeah, you kind
latter
of contradicted
answer-
yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of Muslims don't believe. There are 1 or 2 more mistakes, sort of problems with this hadith. This is why a lot of Muslims do not believe this hadith to be much acceptable, because a toddler doesn't sit making memories, and Hisham, sort of made this hadith to whitewash the image of Aisha, to make
Yeah,
people of
Corrupted
Kufa
Bible.
think that she is just a
Let-
9-year-old. She is,
Hold
completely
on.
innocent.
Let me ask you, because I feel like you're minimizing Bukhari a little bit. Do you know how many hadith that he rejected in compiling his book?
I've heard a lot of them,
Like something like 600,000.
but the
So a very small percentage he picked. And for a very long time, no one had a problem with this hadith. I think it's become a modern problem, and I think you and I probably know why.
one of the weird things is that she was really, really young when Surah Al-Qamar was, came, and she remembered everything. And how can you have a toddler having memories? Mike, you might also have kids. Do you ask them that does she have a specific memory when she was 1 or 2 or really young?
Do you remember things from before you hit puberty?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay, well then you do. I mean, people can remember. I remember things before puberty. That doesn't mean anything. This is still wrong.
Being a
This is-
toddler.
Bro, the hadith still says what it is. She was 9. Is that moral?
First of all, a lot of people, another objection that I want to have is the age. When mathematically taken, it is sort of wrong. The age of her half sister Asma, who was also the
Hang
daughter
on.
of Abu Bakr,
I'll have to
having the
stop you
same
there.
father.
Hold on. You cannot say you reject Bukhari, which is the most authentic, one of the most authentic sources in Islam, and then go to the Asma bit, which is not from the
You know,
same sort of authenticity.
the sort of the source or the way Bukhari wrote a hadith in his book was using a chain, as you might have known it as well. You know, a chain of people that have heard. He narrated it from Hisham ibn Urwa or someone who said that he narrated from his uncle, who was, maybe the father of Aisha. But this is not completely.
You're not dealing with his question. That
related
doesn't
to
change
Abu
what the
Bakr.
hadith says.
Yeah, it says what it says. What
Are
can
you
you
okay
do?
with that?
I have objections a lot about her age. Her elder sister, half sister, was 100 years old when she died. She, when you do math, she was 27 when she was, at the time of migration. And in
So the
another
hadith
hadith,
contradict.
Aisha and Asma had 10 years age gap difference, which makes her 17 by the time she was married, which was pretty
You're basically showing the
acceptable.
hadith are unreliable. We cannot trust them because because they say she was 9, but according to you, the
lot-
mathematics doesn't add up. So your hadith collection is just filled with errors.
Not just according to me, according to a lot of scholars, but this a lot of hadith even in the Bukhari are considered weak. Some exceptions.
This is
Such as
sahih.
one of the exception, I will example one of the is the hadith about music, which a lot of people sort of consider
This
to be weak,
is
although it is in Bukhari.
sahih. This is not weak. So you can't get. And by the way, there's over 200 hadith that say Aisha was 9.
Can you show me another one? And wait a
Another
second.
one? What? You want to see
Perhaps
another
we can
one?
go to the
Boom.
Quran.
Right
Oh, here
there.
we go.
The one right before it says the same thing. It's all over the hadith.
The
When was
corrupted
this
Bible.
narrated?
My point was the hadith that you're talking about with Asma, that comes from a person that was called a liar by other Islamic scholars at the time. They said he should not be used as evidence. The person who said Asma was 10 years older.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're
Yeah.
doing is essentially, because we don't like what's in here, we're saying the more authentic hadith, we're saying, because it doesn't agree with our morality, we're going to disregard that
So even
and move on to
apart
diet.
from, sorry, my internet is a bit cursed. So apart from this hadith, if you have read other narrations which say that Aisha was this, Aisha was that, all of them, they are very contradicting. So I don't consider this hadith to be much authentic, because there are some exceptions that are weak and are in Sahih al-Bukhari. Because the way a hadith was narrated was the way of a chain, and sometimes the narrators also lie.
If you can't trust
Since
this hadith,
Bukhari
you
never
can't
met
trust
Prophet.
any of them. That's it. There's scholars like Joshua Little. Joshua Little is a PhD hadith scholar. If you can't trust this one, you can't trust anything in the Sunnah because it's all unreliable.
At least it's this one historically, Hisham, I don't trust much him, although my name is Hisham as well.
Well, nice to meet you, Asham.
I just
But you cannot use the
believe
Sunnah now.
he
The Sunnah,
made
throw
up-
it out.
I
You got to throw the Sunnah out.
Some of them yes, some of them no.
You know what? I'll
We-
give you a bone
we-
here. Joshua Little wrote his dissertation on this.
Hear me out. There
Joshua
are
Little wrote his
miracles hadith. There are hadith about miracles, sort of in the Sahih Bukhari as well. Do you guys believe in them? If
No,
you
I
believe
don't
all
believe.
hadith
I
to be
agree
true,
with.
you also need to believe-
Hold up. We're going to answer you. I agree with Joshua Little. The Sunnah is very unreliable. Okay, but here's the thing: if you're going to agree with me on that, you got to throw the Sunnah out. You don't want to do that. You want to pick and choose what you like. But if you can't accept the age of Aisha, you can't accept anything in your hadith collections because they're all unreliable. This is what he wrote his dissertation on.
Hadith, some, yeah, I guess.
There is also Hisham, if you didn't know, in the
This
Quran. It also talks
this
about
this
marrying
hadith.
young girls.
Did you know it's in the Quran too, man?
I don't think so. But
It
I don't
is.
know. But I do know what's in the Exodus and Leviathan in the Old Testament too. When a father sells his daughter
Well, hang on.
to a
Once
master,
again,
the daughter shall.
once again,
I
you
know I'm
asked me
sort of
why I
running away from
left,
the question.
and I am answering you. And in the Quran,
Okay, I'm a bit
as you
nervous.
can
I'm
see
sorry.
here. No, that's okay.
Here you go.
I'm shaking.
Here it says, O Prophet, instruct the believers when you intend to divorce women, then divorce them with concern for their waiting period and count it accurately. Fear Allah, Lord. Do not force them out of your homes. Oh, wait. So let me go down here. Verse 4 is what's important. As for women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. And those who have not menstruated as well. So the Iddah, the waiting period, is 3 months for women who have not menstruated. That includes young girls.
According to the previous traditions and stuff, this might still be a bit acceptable.
Are you kidding me?
What conditions?
No, the age of consent in America till 1890 was still 9.
No, it wasn't. That's a myth. That's misreading of the Delaware law. That's not in there.
Okay, I guess I just say what I hear.
Do you
Not,
think it's evil?
personally. As for this hadith, Quranic, I'm sorry. If a woman is past her age of menstruation, she is physically mature. So technically, you might or might not marry her, but according to later on, today's dates, it is not as acceptable.
Are you
Hisham,
saying
it's
this?
it's not that part either. It's they have not menstruated.
You bring up the verse previously that about killing the polytheist. So if that is in the Quran, it does not mean that I have to get a sword and run to India, and there's India is where polytheists mainly live. So go and strike their necks.
I think you probably should if you want to be a good Muslim. I mean, but here, this verse still allows for child marriage. Are you okay with that?
Sorry, you're buffering to me. My internet is cursed.
Okay. Are you okay with the Quran sanctioning and allowing child marriage?
Again, the Quran about child marriage. According to today's, days, it is not acceptable.
But the Quran is for all people in all times, is it not?
If the Quran mentions slavery and stuff, and slavery is not acceptable for today's days, it does not mean that I have to do that.
So you don't follow the Quran, you follow modern law.
Yes.
The Quran as well says that the Islamic law as well says that you should act upon your time, act upon the laws and stuff of your own time.
So the Quran is wrong.
The Quran was revealed for an.
Listen, man, I think you gotta.
Let me. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Dingo.
Hisham, I think something interesting is happening here, and I feel like I've seen it. I've probably been in your position a very long time ago, and you sound like a really young bloke as well. But my thing is, it seems like in many ways you are already better than what Islam teaches, because you clearly have a problem with a lot of this. You clearly have a problem with the hadiths. You try to justify it. You clearly do have a problem in even the Quranic verse that we showed you. And you know what? Before we started, you did say there are certain laws in Pakistan. You were born into a Muslim family. So there's a lot of obstacles there, but somewhere in there, even during this conversation, we can see that you clearly have problems with Islam. And you know what? I hope that you are able to dig in, and you said, you
I
haven't
mean,
gone
if I
that deep
were
into
to,
it, but
if I were
perhaps
to,
maybe you should look into it further, because it's very clear that your morals have significant issues with what the Quran and Hadith teach, and a lot of people
if
would call
I
that cognitive
if I
dissonance.
were to think of leaving Islam, I would not choose Christianity for sure. Agnosticism or atheism makes more sense to me, because Trinitarian idea is also not fun to me. Sounds fun to me, but that's not our topic.
So I would encourage you to think about these ideas, get out of Islam, and then study the Trinity in Christianity. There's a lot of good resources out there that make sense of that. But thanks
I've
for coming,
studied
man.
and I found some. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Keep studying, man. What did he say that sound was? I couldn't even understand him.
He said I think that was his laptop. I think he must have said his ThinkPad or something. I think his fan must have been.
That sounded
going
so
off.
weird.
Yeah, I thought he was at the mechanic or something.
Sounded like he was getting a haircut, to be honest. Sephardic Jew here. I admire the work. Shalom. Oh, yes. So this guy messaged me and he sent me the email. He says this. He says, I just wanted to say I'm pretty sure you changed my life 10 years ago. When I was 12, I was incredibly unaliving, changing the world. I don't know if you're allowed to say that on the stream, but oh well, and doubting Christ. I had grown up in a Christian home and my dad was physically abusive. I would lie awake at night listening to mysticism and anti-Christian conspiracy videos. I would listen to things about Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, eventually Islam. I wouldn't even fully understand. I would just fall asleep to these videos and wake up watching the craziest things. But I was very confused and lost. I remember hearing the best way to go to heaven is to die for Allah. Feeling as I did at the time, I was scared of how tempting that sounded. I was in a very bad place, but one day I fell asleep watching Islamic propaganda and woke up watching some of your videos defending against Bible contradictions. This happened many times. I never actually knew who you were. I would just see your videos popping up, and you planted a seed in my broken heart. It felt like nothing mattered, but I could not escape Jesus. I am now in seminary to become a pastor. I'm married and have become a Christian for many years. I only recently found your channel again, and it wasn't until I went back to watch some of your older videos that it all clicked. I just wanted to say that God has been using you to save people from Islam for much longer than you know. In many ways, he used you to save my very life, and I'm very proud that you are still here to serve him. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prince. I really, really appreciate that, and I'm really honored to hear that. That means a lot to know that, A, I kept you out of false religions, especially Islam, and you're now studying to be a pastor, to take care of more people. That's a very, very hard path ahead, but it's a very rewarding one as well. And I admire you for taking that path. That is very honorable to do. And we will continue to pray for you. This was amazing to hear. It means a lot to me to know that the work is actually helping people. And I'm glad you were able to find the channel and hear a lot of that stuff. That does mean a lot. So I never know what to say when I get those kind of testimonies, but it does mean a lot to me. And so I just want to express my gratitude, and we'll continue to pray for you. I appreciate that. This is a question for you. Dingo, can you explain how you use Flamin' Galah? I want to see Mike use it when it's
essentially an idiot. It's Aussie slang for calling someone a bit silly or a bit of an idiot.
Oh, okay. It sounds
it's an actual bird. I think it's an annoying bird, and that's where it comes from.
Oh, this is Australian lingo, I would assume. My goodness. Yep. Well, unfortunately, I'm an American, and I use American terms.
I think I might have brought you some.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
What is it?
Yeah, I think I might have brought you some Aussie viewers this morning.
That's good. Always happy to be there. Yeah. IP, can you give Blessing from Autism some evidence for Christianity because his son's doctor has seen a miracle in the name of Jesus? Well, that's great to hear. Yeah, check out my series on the resurrection and my series on gospel reliability. There's going to be a lot of evidence in there. Chat, pray for these Muslims. P.S. Hi, Mike and Dingo. Hello. Also, Randy says 434, the like button and subscribe. Everyone 434, that like button. If you don't know what Surah 434 is, it's the verse about hitting your wife. So don't do that ever, but you can 434 that like button. Darth Than is better than regular Than. So they think you're Darth Than, my typical co-host. Because of your mask. Well, maybe she liked it. That's it. Yeah, I know when that Issa guy was talking about. Well, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
disgusting stuff. They
That
want
was
to
rough.
normalize. That was rough. Yeah, they want to normalize PDF behavior. Yeah, they have to. It's in Islam. It's all over the place. They have to pretend
Yeah.
like it's good and
You know
normal.
what? There are some people who would certainly stop there and try to divert from that topic, but I couldn't believe someone would go so hard into it, dig themselves a deeper hole. That was really rough.
Mm-hmm. He's okay having his daughter get pregnant at 9. I certainly hope not. That's pretty messed up. Evil stuff, man. My bloke, my blood cook. My blood is boiling. Yeah. It happens when we talk about how evil Islam is, man. I'll tell you. I just did a 1v5 Muslims in Vegas and child marriage. We talked a lot about that. They were even disgusted by some of the stuff I had to bring up in their own religion.
Yeah.
This only applies if, so this is a response to Issa from earlier. This only applies if the girls are first. Did dude just basically pull a "she liked it" line from Little Girls? Gross. Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Pretty messed up stuff. Pretty messed up stuff. They break the bud early and we allow them bloom past the flower of their youth. Captain Azariak. Oh, yeah, there was a guy attacking Muslims. It's an older clip. Putting yourself forward to defend pedophilia is diabolical. When evil matures, there is no shame, remorse, or introspection. Yep, pretty messed up. Hey, Issa, Charles, you just proved Islam is evil. Yes, he sure did. He sure did. He's defending the child marriage stuff, man.
Yep.
IP, you changed my life. Your knowledge has allowed me to bring my friends and family to Christ. Your gospel reliability is world-class. Love you, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Means a lot to hear that kind of stuff, that we've got multiple people saying that stuff, that the videos have helped. But yeah, I would encourage all Christians to go through my series on gospel reliability, as you'll have a good defense as why those gospels are reliable and why you can trust them. God bless, says Ida. I don't know how you deal with this, man. Listen, we're
Yeah, the
trying
first
to-
one. The first one you invited me to. Some of those moments did truly leave me speechless. If I wasn't wearing this, you could tell.
Well, I like bringing ex-Muslims on because it riles them up, and they're like, "Yes, we want to execute you. Yes, we do. Yes, yes, we're so good." It's like, you prove our point for us. Like,
But they don't hate us, by the way.
No,
They don't hate us.
mashallah. Definitely not, no. Where can I find the studies you reference on Islam and violence? Many I know constantly pull the Muslim countries are more violent and illiterate because of poverty and war. Then they bring up countries like Brazil. Well, just go through my video. I have a video titled "Islam Will Destroy the World," and just look at the studies I cite in there, grab them and use them. So you can just take the title, find them on Google. That's the best way to do it. So Davis Brown, Monica Duffy Toff, Jonathan Fox, all those authors are in that video. Use those studies. Thank you. Thank you for the shekels, and thank you for the memberships, Randy. Much appreciated. Yo, Dingo, I watch your videos, bro. I'm from Colombia, but I live in Australia. I love the mask, mate.
Thank you, Miaz.
Awesome. You got some fans here. That's good. That's good. All right, let's bring in our next guest. He's been waiting a while. Kevin, how are you doing?
Hello there. It's
Hello.
it's good to meet you again, man.
Oh, yeah? What did we talk before?
Remember me, Kevin? Kev?
Oh, Kev, right. What were we talking about last time? Remind me.
Yeah, the one that you've been the one I came to you for the first time.
Yeah, I remember talking to Kev. Oh, right. Okay, now it's coming back to me. You left Islam, right?
Yeah, I left Islam.
Yeah.
It's good.
Excellent. So what's going on? How you been?
I've been doing good, and you changed my life. You've changed my life, man.
How? That's amazing to hear. Thank you so much.
You know what I just learned?
What is it?
Triangle Trinity.
Triangle Trinity?
Yeah, I learned it. So the edge 1 is not the edge 2. And the edge 2 is not the edge. And the edge 1 is not the edge 2. Edge 2 is not the edge 3. And the edge 3 is not the edge 1. So that makes it one triangle, not 3.
I mean, you could use that to show an analogy for how something can be 3 in 1. Just be careful to saying
Yeah.
that's exactly what the Trinity is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, Kev, there's a I did an interview right here. If you can see this, it's on Is the Trinity Incoherent? On Reason Answers Apologetics. I go into a lot of stuff that you were kind of talking about there that might help a lot on that stuff. So yeah, I checked that out. Did you find a good church yet?
I found one church.
Have you been going to it? Has it been good?
No, I didn't go there, but I found one good church. It's called Madison Baptist Church.
Okay.
It's
Awesome.
very nice. They don't support LGBTQ there, and they don't.
Well, that's what I told you to look for, so that's good. It's good to hear that.
I gotta say, I gotta thank you guys. I gotta thank David Wood. I gotta thank God Logic. I gotta thank you guys, man. You changed absolutely my life. You led me to who I am, man. You led me to who I am. I gotta thank you guys.
That's great to hear. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to hear that. We're happy that you are saved and you're going to church now. Keep going, man. This is important stuff. We really want you to make sure you're in a good community, staying strong. And we've been praying for you, just so you know. We've been praying for everybody who's been calling in. But yeah, you came up and said Kevin, and I'm like, is this? And then I remembered, you said Kevin.
I changed my name. I changed my name, but I have an Arabic name, but I cannot tell you.
I know. We want to keep it. The funny thing is when I posted on X a couple of weeks ago, people were like, "Oh, that's a fake guy," because no Muslim is named Kev, and I'm like, "How do you know he's using his real name?" But all the Muslims were attacking you on X when I posted about it because they're like, "Oh yeah, it's a fake name." Yeah, he's probably hiding it.
Don't worry, Kevin. I also changed my name after leaving.
All right.
Awesome,
I gotta
man.
and by the way, I saw this one chaos guy.
Yeah.
He's a Christian.
Good.
And also I learned the Trinity, the triangle one. It's perfect. I learned it very well.
Good. Keep learning, man. That's good to go. Keep learning. I'm gonna let you go because we have some more people to talk to. But thanks for coming up and reporting back. It's really good to hear from you again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Keep going to church. Come back and talk to me again.
All right.
Thanks. Suzuki, is that you? Sasuke. Okay.
So I got some disagreements about. So the title is Islam is evil, but the problem is your proposal isn't a solution to stop the evil. Secularism cannot stop Islam, or what you call Islam, because it allows for free. You say freedom of religion. Dingo mentioned that he thinks Islam should be excluded from that, but I would agree. I think some religions can be allowed, some can't. But there's no biblical, from what I've read, there's no biblical secularism. Like the Bible is a theocratic. It's a theocratic. It advocates for theocracy. I would say.
You sure about that?
Yeah. So what would your argument be? Because if you're going to say render on to Caesar, there's nothing saying that Caesar can't be a Christian. At the time, he wasn't a Christian, but there's nothing saying that Caesar couldn't be a Christian, right? So
go to Matthew 10. As you enter the house, greet it, and if the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to it. And if anyone will not receive or listen to your words, shake off the dust from your feet when you leave that house or town. Truly, truly, be more unbearable in the day of judgment for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah than that town. In other words, God will deal with them. It's not our job to enforce our will or our religion upon them. We offer it. They reject it. We move on.
Yeah, so you can have a theocratic. And by the way, I think what ended up happening was because of all the wars in Europe with the Catholics and Protestants, I think they ended up doing an overcorrection, and that overcorrection was secularism. And now with that overcorrection, now you got a mass influx of Mohammedanism, or what you call Islam. you have a mass influx of that, and you can't stop it because you allow for so-called freedom of religion. And most people will put Islam in the freedom of religion category, but you can't. It's like, for example, when the Spanish went over to the Aztecs were doing human sacrifices. The Spanish had a solution for that because they were theocrats, and they ended up banning that practice, human sacrifice. You have to have a function in society to be able to ban bad practices like Satanism and Islam.
Hold up. There's a lot going on here. Human sacrifice is a lot different than freedom. I mean, like that
was their religion. That was their religion. Human
Yes,
sacrifice
and
was their religion.
according to like constitutional law, freedom of religion does not mean absolute freedom of religion. There's a huge difference there. Like if like jihadis came over and they're like, we are gonna, we're gonna start running jihad. We're not gonna be like, well, freedom of religion. I guess no. There's obviously a difference there. Freedom of religion does not mean you get to violate other people's freedom of religion either, or freedom of, life, liberty, or pursuit of happiness.
They advocate for Sharia, and a part of Sharia is killing apostates. So that's
Right, and exactly. So we're on the same page then. We absolutely agree that should be outlawed. And
But I
rejected
have a
in the
solution
West.
for you don't. That's my point. So secularism is not a solution for Islam. What you're gonna have to have happen is, and you can have freedom of religion in a theocratic country. For example, in a theocratic Christian country. For example, the Roman Empire, when it converted to Christianity, they still allowed Jews to practice Judaism in the Roman Empire. So you can allow certain religions, but you can also recognize that some are too bad to be allowed. Just like what I said with the Spanish, when they went over and the Aztecs were
I'm not
doing
a secularist.
You are though. You believe, you advocate for. You just brought up a verse trying to say that was freedom of religion. And by the way, that verse didn't say anything about freedom of religion. That verse was saying you don't force your religion, but that doesn't mean you have to have a secular country. Secularism is a new so-called Enlightenment idea, so it's way newer than Christianity. So
Okay, and this has nothing to do with the topic. Have a good day. This is ridiculous. Izarahu Hawk, are you there? Can I mute yourself?
Hello, mate. You hear me?
Yeah. You sound like you're from Australia.
No, I'm not from Australia. I'm from Turkey.
Did he sound Australian to you?
Turkey.
Turkey. Okay. Are you Muslim?
Yeah. Well, Turkey is an animal, man. Turkey now. We changed the name in the nation. In the what's it called? United Nations as well. The Turkey. You have to call Turkey, please. Mind it.
Okay.
I want
So
to
are you
call
Muslim?
it Turkey, please. I'm a Muslim. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So I'm here with an ex-Muslim.
Yeah, you were just talking about, let's we continue. You were just talking about the jihadis and making love. Jihad is on your own book actually, because the people, they don't believe in God commanding your God. If you don't believe that the Old Testament God is the God of UFOs or aliens, that your God commanding them to attack the nations because they will teach them their own gods and teachings. If they don't do.
Are you saying that's evil?
What do you think? Let me tell you, because do you think jihad, the one you mentioned, is evil or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think what I just said earlier is evil or not?
What do you think is in the Bible? Because I don't think you understand it properly.
Okay, so the Deuteronomy 20, 14 is very evil already, but I don't want to talk about 10, sorry. I want to talk about the 16. If you come to 16, open and put on open it and put on the screen so your all lovely
just so you know,
followers see.
This is hyperbole. A lot of what's going on in there.
Oh man, can you open please?
What chapter?
Deuteronomy 20, verse 16. Now we're gonna see if it is or not. And I want to see your new dude that he's so okay with you, but he tries stoning to Islam and saying Islam is evil. I'm ex-Muslim. So let's see what he thinks.
Okay.
Don't
okay,
deny
so
your God, please. Don't claim that this is the God of UFOs.
You're talking about. This is literally why I held this book up. Covers this.
Bro, can you just read it, please? Don't waste my time.
But in the cities of these people that the Lord your God is giving you for an inheritance, you shall save alive nothing that breathes, but you shall devote them to complete destruction.
Okay,
Yeah,
can
what
you
about
say
it?
this is not evil? Can you say this is not evil?
It's not, because it's harem warfare. It's hagiographic hyperbole.
Okay, well, how come that? And can you explain what do you mean? And can you explain how
It's
fits
saying
what-
if you read this book, if you read a book called The Lost World of the
No,
Israeli
I want to read
Conquest-
here, man. I want to read here, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
I'm
come on.
explaining
This
it
is
to
very
you,
clear.
which actually goes into the
You
cultural
have brain.
context.
You have brain, and I have brain. Come
Yeah,
on.
So harem warfare, as Matthew Lynch, John Walton point out, is not saying to actually literally unalive everything that breathes. It's about destroying the identity of these people that were engaging in human sacrifice, that were engaging in temple prostitution, these horrible practices. Destroy those identities. And they use it hyperbolic language, which is very common in the ancient Near East. For example, the Merneptah stele in Egypt says, Israel was laid waste, his seed is ruined. Every scholar acknowledges, Egyptologist acknowledges, this is hagiographic hyperbole. It's hyperbole. They didn't actually destroy Israel, because the seed was not actually destroyed.
But what we understand,
Likewise, this is what's
what we
happening in
understand,
Deuteronomy and Joshua.
Okay, so what we understand that because they don't believe like believe like them, because they don't believe like them, so they can do these things. Yeah. Okay, carry on. No, that's what we understand.
Okay, so it's
Either yes or
hyperbole.
no.
What's your point? It's not saying to actually.
It's not
unalive
hyperbole.
them. It is.
It is not, man.
It is.
Okay, so this is
what the scholars say.
No matter what you bring in front of us, this is so clear, man. Come on, read it.
All right. Yeah, have a good day, man.
Bit of arrogance on his behalf.
It's just like, hey guys, here are some experts that actually show this is hyperbolic language. It's not actually saying everyone has to be destroyed, and you actually can see this. Let me show people some examples. Let me go to. I've brought this one up before, but you can just see right in the text. Like, so to go to Joshua 10, for example, go to the verse 20. It says, okay, where is it? Let me see here. Maybe it's not a verse. Oh, yeah, here it is. So when Joshua the son had finished striking them with a great blow until they were wiped out, but when a remnant that remained of them had entered the fortified cities. So this idea that, like, okay, well, hold on. If they were wiped out, why is there a remnant? That's the problem that people don't realize. And I mean, like, again, Matthew Lynch in this book goes into exorbitant detail into what's going on here in the harem warfare. This is not the idea that literally everybody had to. This is about destroying those identities, which they point out in this book. It's like, they use a great analogy. Like, when the Allies went to war with Germany in World War II, did they kill everyone? No, but they destroyed the Nazi reality. We obliterated it. There aren't any Nazis left after that from that regime. But that didn't mean everyone was unalived. So that's the misunderstanding there. Let's finish these super chats out. Dawa Troll says, I subbed. You subbed. We all subbed to Dingo's channel. You have micro. That's from Muhammad Ajab's Crash Out, basically. Thank you. We'll binge watch Dingo. Excellent. That's good to hear. Former Christian here. Why would Jesus allow so many SA scandals in the Southern Baptist Convention and Catholic Church? Free will defense. The Christian message is what Jesus said. He's like a doctor. He came to seek the lost. No one pretends Christians are perfect, and if we ever did, that would be the mistake. Absolutely. The good thing is that notice that none of these people are. This stuff has been brought to the light. The more that it happened, the more it got exposed and brought out, and that's what needs to happen. And no Christian today, when this stuff comes out, is going, "Oh, we should keep that hidden," or trying to justify it like the Mohammedans do with Muhammad and Aisha. We say this is evil and it should be exposed. After the stream, I owe you a round of scotch. Thank you, Randy. You definitely do owe us a round of scotch. Do you drink scotch?
Sometimes. Not that big of a fan though.
Yeah, no one's perfect. Dingo is the knife. Come on, say the thing. What thing is he talking about?
That's not a knife. That's a spoon. That's what he wanted me to say.
What is that from?
I think that's from The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony, for gifting 10 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. After the stream, I get why you told me we need more attention in Old Testament apologetics the other day when I mentioned starting a channel. Yep, it's absolutely what we need. We need more attention. I'm going to have a video coming out soon on Numbers 31, explaining what happened there. Deuteronomy 22:28, explaining that passage. I'm going to try to do more of that stuff because people are misunderstanding what's going on in those passages. Do you want to do one more, or do you want to close this out?
I probably don't have too much time left. But yeah, I think I probably need to head off.
All right. No problem, man. You can take off. Everyone subscribe to Cyberpunk Dingo. He's doing a lot of really good work over on his channel, Exposing Islam. I've been binging a lot of his videos in the past. I highly recommend it. So you're almost at 150 subscribers. So if everyone watching this goes subscribed, you'll almost beat a 150. So that'd be amazing.
Excellent. Thanks, RP, a lot for having me. This was fun.
All right. Awesome. All right, man.
Thanks,
I'll
guys.
talk to you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Real Muslim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm guessing you are a real Muslim.
Yes, sir.
All right. Why are you a Muslim?
It's how I was born and raised.
All right.
And I also believe in it.
Do you think if there were errors in the Quran, would you leave Islam?
Maybe, but I don't think there are.
What if I showed you some?
I mean, I had a few questions for you, if that's okay. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to go over things you've gone over about 1 million times.
What is? Give me a. I'll let you ask a question. We've been going for a while, so go ahead.
Okay, so there's the hadith. I don't know if it's authentic or not, but the hadith where supposedly Prophet Muhammad, peace and joy and blessings be upon our amazing prophet, was supposedly essayed by 10 black jinn or something like this. You know what
You're
I'm
talking
referring
about the Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hadith, yeah.
So I've seen a lot of Christian apologists bring up this hadith, and they do it laughing, mocking, saying he's not a real man because this happened to him, and they're so happy this happened to him, and look how weak and pathetic he is.
I'm not happy at all that happened to him. That's awful.
Okay, well then you're different from A-Puss and David Wood and others.
Well,
So
let's not insult Ridvan.
okay, well that's respectable then, because I've heard other Christian apologists laugh and mock, and I don't see when Jesus teaches to love your enemies, and I don't see how that's following Christ to make fun of an essay victim.
Well, here's the thing, the way that David Wood started that out, and he'll tell you this. The reason that came about was because for years we've been telling Muslims to stop lying about the Bible. Stop telling us the Bible says Rebecca was 3 when she married Isaac. Stop telling us the Bible says Mary was 12. I was just debating Muslims in Vegas 2 days ago. They were bringing that stuff up again. So he said, listen, you keep doing this. We're not going to lie about what your religion says, but we're going to start showing you stuff that's in there. And we're going to just go over what it says. And the plain reading of that seems to suggest that that's what happened. Now, I've been very clear on other streams. I don't think that ever happened. I think that story was made up, as I think most hadith were made up. I don't think they actually go back to the historical Muhammad. But if it's in your sources, then you have to deal with it. We don't have to deal with it from an historical perspective. Because again, I've said this before. I don't think any of that happened. I think a lot of this stuff is made up for other means.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I respect your approach to it, but just being logical and consistent, even if it was a authentic hadith, that would just mean Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a victim of SA. That doesn't make him
You're right.
less of a man. That doesn't make him. So
You know
these
what?
other
You're correct.
yeah. So me and you are on the same page. It's not even a debate we're having. I'm just saying other Christian apologists, even if they're saying that they're doing this in response to what Muslims are doing to them, that's still wrong, because doesn't their religion following Christ call them to take the higher ground?
What do you mean? Because Jesus.
So
mocked the
in
Pharisees at times.
other words, if Jesus were to ask these Christian apologists, why are you mocking a victim of SA? And they say, well, we're mocking this victim of SA because these other Muslims are mean to us. Would Jesus give them a free pass and say, oh, okay, yeah, keep mocking them, it's fine?
Well, I don't think they're going to say that he was actually a victim of SA because he was someone who willingly engaged in it, is the argument from the hadith, is that Muhammad was not a victim. He went into it. If you're right and he was, then yeah, but when David Wood brings that stuff up, he's not. He's just arguing that he participated in some late night rendezvous.
So they're arguing that the hadith was consensual.
Yes.
Okay, that would change things in that case then. But
it would, yeah.
If you have, I know it's been a long stream, but if you have maybe like 10 minutes or less, could I just ask a couple questions?
Yeah, you've been respectable. You've not been interrupting, so sure, I'll go and ask some questions.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. A question I had too, because I do watch a lot of the Christian apologists as well as the Muslim apologists. Is the Christian apologists usually attack Islam for polygyny being permissible?
Yeah.
And the age aspect is, I want to put that to the side for a minute because we can go in circles about that all day. But let's suppose a Muslim man has 2 or 3 wives that are above the age of 18, and they've gone into this arrangement willingly and consensually, and he's a good husband to them, they're good wives to him. What's the problem with this? Besides, it may go against Christianity with the New Testament, but what's the problem where you guys go against it so hard?
I think I can best explain this using some slides, if you're okay with that, because I made these slides for this very reason. I think it's a good question you're bringing up. And so let me find these slides here, because I think this will help explain where I'm coming from. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So where is that chart I made? I made a chart. Okay, it must be in the other one. So it should be in the supplement one I have here. I make a ton of slides, and then I forget how many slides I made. Here we go. I found it now. Okay. So I made some slides on polygyny. The research on polygyny is actually quite interesting. So here's what I want to show you this term. So let's say you divide men based on like wealth class. So the top 10%, the middle class is like 60%, and then the bottom 30% is going to be the poor. Now, let's say we take Islamic standards and we just say the top 40% can afford 4 wives. That means they've taken 40% of the women.
Wait, the top what percent?
Top 10% of men. So top 10%
Okay.
each take 4 wives.
Okay.
So this is just a rough average. And let's just say, for sake of argument, then the middle class, the next 60%, each just have 1 wife. Obviously, the top middle class might be able to afford 2 or 3, but let's just say they're all monogamous. You've left the bottom 30% with no wives. And this is just standard. Actually, right now, there are more men on earth than there are women. For every 100 women, there's 101 men alive. There's not even enough women to go around for every man to have 1 wife. But this is what happens. There's a book called The Evils of Polygyny. And they do there's actual studies published in this book. They note that polygyny reduces civil rights, political liberties, leads to more authoritarianism, less stability. And the general point of the book is that this bottom 30% of men, because they don't get married, they don't have children, they tend to join gangs, terrorist organizations, and they cause more violence. That causes the top 10% to be more authoritarian in how they act. So it actually leads to more violence, more problems in society. And there's multiple books that have shown this, as you can see in my slides. I mean, Despotism and Differential Reproduction, Sex and Gender Hierarchies. They point out over and over again, polygyny is actually very destructive to society. Humans are not meant to be polygynous. It breaks down society.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Would you want polygyny? Well, it already is illegal in the United States, I believe. But do you agree with that? Would you want polygyny to stay illegal?
I want it to be illegal, yes.
So what do you think the punishment should be if a man has 2 or 3 wives? Prison time? What?
Yeah,
and keep in mind they have children too. So
yeah, it's
yeah.
a good question. I'm not a legal expert or an attorney, so I wouldn't know. If I'm just brainstorming off the top of my head right now. Again, I do more philosophy and more sociology. And then, I mean, you could have, first of all, they need to be broken up, for sure. Those kind of things need to be prevented. Typically, for example, we deal with, there's a group in Arizona here called the Fundamentalist LDS Church. So there was a guy named, what is his name? Warren Jeffs a couple years ago. He was leading an FDLS group, and the government came in, arrested him, put him in prison for having multiple wives, took those girls away, got them in education, got them in better homes, better caretakers. So yes, I think I'd be fine with the men going to prison for something like that. Yes.
But with all due respect, we're comparing apples to oranges here, because I'm familiar with that. That guy was doing, he was breaking the law with underage girls. He was, doing a lot of messed up things, but I'm talking about case by case. I'm not talking about those type of things. I'm talking about a grown man has 2 or 3 wives that are grown women. It's consensual. There's no abuse. There's no anything. And they even have children. You're going to put that man in prison and take away the children's father.
Okay. Well, again, you even said this is a case by case basis, which I agree. But even with that, we can go to the research on how this affects children. This is a meta-analysis. And it actually is worse for the women and the children involved. They develop all sorts of mental disorders from polygyny. So the actual research, meta-analysis, by the way, is not just one paper. It looks at multiple papers to find the overall result. And yes, they find that it's actually deteriorating the mental health of the women involved.
Okay. Well, I don't know all the details.
So breaking them
of
up
the
would be
studies
better.
Yeah, but that seems harsh to me, because if we go case by case, if you have a man, 3 wives, and some children, and it's a happy family, and the man treats them well, and his wives love him, his children love him, even in that specific case, put the man in prison. How is that helpful to the wives and the children?
Well, again, it is, because if this man through polygyny is causing mental deterioration, splitting that up is a good thing. It's like taking a woman away from an abuser.
So you think there's no such thing, even if you saw a man with 3 wives and children, and everybody's happy, everybody's consensually participating, you think there's no such thing as a happy family where there's more than one wife?
Well, happiness is not a good metric. Mental stability, mental deterioration is a far better one. You could you go to a drug addict. He's going to report he's happy. We still need to get him off the drugs.
Okay. So, all right. Well, somewhere I do see inconsistency and hypocrisy, with all due respect, is the Christian apologists seem to go pretty hard against more than one wife. If it's even 2 wives, put him in prison. He's the most evil man ever. But you guys don't seem to go as hard with same-sex couples, with casual sex. Like, would you want to make casual sex illegal? Because by the same logic, isn't casual sex a sin? Isn't it harmful? Isn't it destroying society?
So
what do you want to make that illegal?
You keep, as I mentioned earlier, you keep bringing this attorney stuff up. I mean, like right now in society, you can have a polyamorous relationship where a bunch of people just move together in a house. I mean, like, I think pragmatically it'd be hard to split that up. If one man and a bunch of women decided they wanted to live together, what are we going to do? Are we just going to throw everyone in prison? I don't think that's practical. I don't think that's pragmatic in any society. So my whole thing is not, hey, I'm going to tell you what legally should happen. My whole thing would be telling you what's right and wrong and trying to convince you to morally make the free will choice. So again, I'm not a legal expert. I can only brainstorm stuff here, but at the end of the day, it's really hard to pragmatically carry that stuff out. I'm more interested in convincing Muslims and people in general to just abandon polygyny and abandon fornication and abandon sex outside of marriage.
Got you. Okay. I mean, I see what you're saying. I just think it's for the sake of consistency, I just don't see why. Because if you already said you would make multiple wives illegal because of all the reasons you gave, why wouldn't you make other things illegal that also cause harm to society and are sinful and things like this?
I'm not a politician. At the end of the day, my whole thing is that I'm very conservative in how I look at government. I don't think the government can fix our problems to begin with. I think if the government just outlawed polygyny, fornication, it's still going to happen. So I'm more interested in convincing souls to change their mind by free will choices, because I don't think the government's the solution.
Okay, but I'm just saying, I know you're not in power, obviously. You don't make laws, you're not a politician. I'm just saying, in this thought experiment, if you were in power, you already said you would put the man in prison for having 2 or 3 wives. But then when it comes to gay couples, don't put them in prison. When it comes to casual sex, don't put them in prison. Even when it comes to multiple
Well, I did also
girlfriends,
say,
don't put them in prison.
it's a case by case basis. Like,
Yeah,
like
but
Warren
then,
Jeffs
but
is
then
obviously
you
an
said,
extreme example.
yeah, so first you said it's case by case, but then you said there's no such thing as a polygamous family that's healthy. So then how is it case by case? You're saying in every case put them in prison.
But I'm not saying every case put him in prison, because, you know, and again, I'm not a legal expert, and I'm just brainstorming off the top of my head. I mean, like, some things you need to break those families up for sure. But again, I'm just told you, I don't think the government is the answer for doing this kind of stuff. Just like you can't use the government to get rid of fornication. You can't really use the government to end the polygyny mindset. You need to do that through the church. That's the, this is the thing a lot of people don't understand today, is we think the government is just the solution. And I think in society, we have different institutions. You have the government, that's one institution. The church is another institution. Academia is another institution. And these all are meant to deal with different areas. So the government cannot be like running education. It messes it up. The church is to focus on spiritual matters. The government focuses on certain legal things. So you might be right that, yeah, it'd be very impractical if like we went to Saudi Arabia, like right now where polygyny happens, to throw everyone in prison. That's just not going to work. I'd be more interested in trying to shift the culture over a couple generations.
Right. So I'm talking specifically America, because that's where we live, right? So
okay,
I don't want to like press this too much, because I appreciate the respectfulness and I want to keep it, you know, respect. I appreciate the dialogue.
Yeah, me too.
But I just want to see, can you see from my perspective how it seems hypocritical? Because it seems like when it comes to a man having multiple wives, you said, yes, definitely make it illegal, put the guy in prison. But when it comes to homosexuality, casual sex, multiple girlfriends, oh no, don't make it illegal. Government shouldn't get involved. You just talk to the soul.
I mean,
so
I'm telling you what I do, and I'm also dealing with the practical implications of the society we live in. In my ideal society, homosexuality would not happen. Like it would not happen. Just like polygyny. But again, my ideal society is more like everyone is Christian, so you wouldn't even need laws for that kind of stuff. Like people ask me, like, would you outlaw gay marriage? My whole response is like, I don't think the government should be involved in marriage at all. So why would I outlaw it? I would just get the government out of marriage entirely. Because so like you're bringing up all sorts of things that I'm just like, I think we're looking at this from the wrong angle.
brother, if the government shouldn't be involved in marriage, why did you say earlier make polygamy illegal or keep it illegal? That you're
because
talking
there's a
out both
difference
sides of your
in
mouth.
terms of the studies, though. And I can show you direct studies where it's actually harming the women involved.
Okay, well that leads me to my next question. I mean, but you would also,
if you can show me studies that, you know, homosexuality is harming people, then yeah, you can make a case there as well.
Okay. But that leads me to my next question. Another thing I noticed is when it comes to this polygamy subject, it seems to be one of the biggest subjects that really gets the Christians fired up. But they always talk about it in terms of the woman's the innocent little victim, the man's the big evil scary monster. Do you put any accountability on the women? Because even in Islam, most Muslim men are only going to have one wife. So it's so easy for a Muslim woman to just find one man who wants one wife. So if she's choosing to go into a plural marriage, do you put any accountability on her?
Of course I would, yes. But I mean, like, again, I don't know why we're going into all this cool government stuff when I'm just not interested in that.
No, forget about the government. I'm just saying, yeah, forget about the legal system, the government. I'm just saying when I hear you guys speak about it, it's always with the implication that the husband is such a evil, terrible monster, and these innocent little women have been manipulated, and they're innocent, and it's like, and then it's a contradiction too, because on the one hand, you say Christianity respects women, that they're grown adults, that are independent, that don't need patriarchy and this and that. But then on the other hand, you paint them out to be these helpless little children that get so easily manipulated and tricked and taken advantage of. So which one is it?
I literally showed you the study earlier showing that they're suffering from mental disorders. So
I
yes,
don't
they are
even
being
know.
manipulated.
I don't even know what that study is, brother. They could have just asked a bunch of women, "Oh, has your husband ever been mean to you?" Yeah, he was mean to me one
No.
time last month. Like, I don't know what the details of the study.
The meta-analysis reviewed multiple couples engaging in monogamy and polygyny and found that those engaging in polygyny suffered from far more mental issues.
Okay, but then you said earlier that happiness isn't a good metric. So if I pull up, I can't do it right now, but let's say if we pulled up a video where it's like a man, 3 wives and children, they've been a plural family for 20 years, everybody's smiling and happy, and the women say they love it and it's great. You would say ignore that because happiness doesn't matter. It's not a good metric. These women have mental damage, but they just don't
Dude.
know it. Like, they
Dude,
think they're
I
happy,
hate-
but they're really depressed.
I hate to say it, you sound like a liberal. They do the same thing with drug addicts. Oh, they're on the streets, they're fine. Just give them clean needles and let them do their thing. No, that's bad. Stop that. Like, just because people are
Okay,
happy
but
doesn't
you
mean you
don't.
just let
you-
people go
But
on with their bad behavior that's destroying themselves.
okay, but brother, you don't see apples to oranges there, because you're talking about. I agree with you about the drug addicts. Yeah, obviously get them off the drugs. Nobody should be
Okay.
a drug addict. But you're talking about like a heroin junkie that's sleeping under a bridge who says, "Oh, I'm so happy doing this heroin," when he's clearly, like, from an outsider perspective, he's clearly like his life is a train wreck. But you're comparing that to like a man and 3 women and their kids that they, the man works a job, he takes care of them, food on the table, they have shelter, they have clothes, they go to the park on a Sunday afternoon. Everybody's saying they're happy, and then you're coming in like to save them and telling the women, "Oh, you think you're happy, but you're really depressed. You just don't know it. I got to save you from this evil man." Like, you're really comparing those.
Yeah, if they're causing mental deterioration, you should go in and say that you should get out of this lifestyle. We would do that with anybody else. If there was a woman who had an abusive boyfriend and she was like, "Yeah, but he's providing for me. He brings food on the table and, there's a roof over my head and clothes," it just because he, loses his temper a couple times a month, you'd still say tell her to leave, wouldn't you?
Depends on your definition of abuse, because and your definition of abuse is just that he has more than one wife. No matter anything else.
Okay, let's use a different analogy. If he's mentally abusing her, psychologically abusing her, emotionally abusing her, should she leave?
Again, depends on your. I would say yes if it's real abuse,
Yes.
but the reason I say depends on your definition is because your bar is probably very low for that.
It's just what you think of as abuse. Should they leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with polygyny. It's abuse. It's mental abuse.
Okay.
So they should leave. Yes. And I would tell them to.
Okay.
So
Well,
can I ask you a question now?
Yeah, good.
We've been talking about child marriage all day. Do you think the Quran sanctions and allows child marriage?
This is what I was told, because I'm not an expert, I'm not the most well-versed. But what I was told when I asked is I was told that the woman has to be physically mature, mentally mature, emotionally mature. She has to give consent, and it cannot cause her any kind of harm.
Is somebody mature if they've not reached the age of menstruation?
I would say no.
Okay. But the Quran allows you to divorce or marry and divorce girls who've not menstruated.
This is all above my pay grade, bro.
Well, I want to read it to you. As for the women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who've not menstruated as well. So the Quran does allow you to marry and divorce girls who have not menstruated. Do you think that's evil?
I don't. You would have to talk to somebody more knowledgeable than me.
I'm not. Well, I'm talking to you right now. I'm not saying you have to answer, but I do want you to go away and think about this stuff. If this is actually from God, and you care about women, because you did say women should leave abusive relationships, why would the Quran allow men to marry and divorce little girls?
Like I said, I mean, I will think about it.
Okay, I respect
but
that.
I need to talk to knowledgeable Muslims on the subject, because with all due respect, I don't want to give a yes or no when I'm being presented this by someone who's anti-Islam.
All right,
Is that fair
yeah.
enough?
Yep, just the verse is Surah 65:4, and I highly recommend you look up all the early tafsirs as well, like Ibn Kathir, Tabari, Qurtubi. They're going to say the same thing I'm telling you. But thanks for coming, man. I'll let you go. I'm going to close this out.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'll finish these last super chats. No Nazis, Mike. Don't look into NASA or West German government or American Historical Society. I meant like the Nazis of that regime is what I was talking about. Like that's what I was talking about. I know there's still people who identify as that. IP talking alive with a cyber dingo. Is this a dream? Awesome. Both of you rock. Lastly, there's no God, but the triune God in Muhammad is a false prophet. Mashallah. Yes. Oh, and I thought I know why leftists defend Islam. It's still baffling to me. The so-called secularists would go at a great length to shield the genuinely most patriarchal, misogynistic cult ever. Yes, it is quite strange, as we all recognize and understand that unholy alliance exists. Now, I'm anti-Islam just like you always have been. That said, how should we look at the CCP's persecution of Uyghur Muslims? Genuinely curious. Well, I disagree with what they're doing to the Uyghur Muslims. I don't think it's a good thing the way they're handling it. I don't think authoritarianism is the answer in these kinds of things. How are children willing participants? Exactly. They're not. Children are never willing participants. They cannot consent. Hey, IP, why are there differences between Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John about the resurrection of Jesus? And do you have any resources that can help me? Yes, I do. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. So I'm going to go to playlist sections of the YouTube channel. If you go to, where is it? So it's down here. Bible Contradictions Refuted, this series here. If you go down and you start looking at about, looks like 23. So if you start with supposed Bible contradiction 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, this is going to give you a lot of the stuff that answers this stuff. So check that out. Vince, hope that helps. Enforcing fornication laws would be impossible. Exactly. It's impossible. And yeah, we can make laws that outlaw like legal documents regarding marriage. Like you can only have one legal spouse. But it's a lot harder to outlaw fornication. The guy must be a polygamist or wants to engage. Yeah, he was really pressing it kind of hard. Really unfortunate because polygyny is incredibly harmful. So I'm going to close this out. Thank you for coming, everyone. Let me see here. All right. I think we're getting that good. All right. TikTok is closed. All right, everybody. I should be live Monday. We'll figure out something then. Thanks for coming. I will see you guys next time. Remember to subscribe to the Cyberpunk Dingo, and we'll see you next time.
What are you doing? What are you Christians doing? What are you doing? You make me sick. I make me sick. We should all be sick. People are dying. I'm getting bombed. What's wrong with you? There's a link in the description. Click the link. Donate now. You have micro penis. Anyway.
You made it to the end of this video, which means this message matters to you. If you want to see more content like this reaching people for Christ, you can help make it happen. Your support makes these videos possible. Click the link below and donate today. And if you want to go even deeper, consider joining our Patreon community. You'll get early access to videos, behind-the-scenes content, and a place to connect with others passionate about this mission.